Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of Guapish Rule 34. As always, I'm your host Jackson and I've got a bunch of Geometry Dash pros with me today. We're going to be doing a fun little challenge where they have to see 8 different levels and then rank them based on what they think is the hardest to easiest in order. Of course, we've got the absolute fucking gamer, number 17 of the global leaderboards here, Dylan. What is the hardest level you've been in Geometry Dash?
You know, I'm thinking like a good time machine is probably, the hardest I've ever beaten,
Okay. Pretty good. There's a lot of triple spikes in that one. It's a pretty tough level. Next up, of course, we've got number 42 on the global leaderboard. She just recently beat the 4th hardest level in the game. Nico, what is the hardest level you've completed in this game?
Yeah, I've got a few demons under my belt here and there, Nothing too crazy, but, let's just say, I know my way around the old square that is Geometry Dash.
Oh yeah, I think he just recently beat Polargeist, which is quite the accomplishment. In under 30 attempts. Ooh. And last but not least, of course, we have our fucking Dark Horse series, number 112 on the global leaderboard, but he's approaching quickly into those top spots. Tanner, what is the hardest level you've beaten in Geometry Dash?
Yeah, I think the hardest one I've ever beaten is Flubber's Revenge, parenthesis, R.I.P. Robin Williams, parenthesis.
That is an absolute banger. And what's really funny is there are a lot of levels with some dumb fucking names like that. Because some people just, don't give a shit at all. There's a fucking level in the top 100 it's called Walter White, and it has nothing to do with Breaking Bad. It's just named Walter White for no reason at all. But yeah.
That's great.
Like I alluded to, I've got 8 levels for them. These guys have no idea, they don't know fucking shit about Geometry Dash. I had them play a little romp of a level that taught them about all the different game modes, and they're going to try to order them from hardest to easiest here. And personally, my money's on Tanner, but we have no real basis behind what you guys think you'll get. I think the easiest way of keeping track of this too is you guys can just all have a message in the Discord, and you guys can just edit that with your updated ranking. Top is the hardest, easiest is at the bottom, and at the end I can just look at that and then input it into my program to get your guys' score.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Alrighty, we are starting off with an absolute banger level here. These all have pseudo names. I don't think you guys would know any of these levels, but I'm also just gonna play it safe and you guys can just go with the pseudo names for them. So the first level is called Theater. Let's fucking get it going.
Alright, let's check this out here.
Aww. Dude, this is already impossible.
Alright, so it's looking like you start off as the spider. Ooh, there's a nice little dragon here. That's pretty cool. I feel like there's a map that has a decent amount of skill expression, I'd suppose.
Nico hitting all the fucking buzzwords.
Yeah.
I will say, all of these levels, 6 out of the 8 of them, they're all demon levels, but 6 out of 8 of them are the highest difficulty of demon, that being an extreme demon. One of them is an easy demon, so the easiest demon difficulty, and one of them is an insane demon, which is the level above extreme. So you guys can take that with a grain of salt. So there's one that is significantly easier than any of the other ones, and one that is still like a good tier below the rest as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some more shippage going here. Oh, here we go. We're finally doing some zigzagging as well. Dude, the amount of different forms that you're transitioning from here is a little nutso. I feel like it kind of boggles the brain to some extent.
Does this level seem like you guys could beat it?
No. Honestly, this one isn't looking that bad currently.
That's what I'm thinking.
It feels like there isn't much going on that's super disorienting. It feels fairly clean as what you need to do at any given time.
I didn't know Geometry Dash could even look like this. I assumed it was all set against vaporwave backgrounds.
That's really funny. Now, this game can get very artistic. This is,
autistic, am I right? How long did this take someone to make?
A ridiculous amount of time, presumably. This is, I think, one of the community's favorite levels in the game.
I can concur. This looks very insanely fun to play.
Yeah, are you even able to go backwards here? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck they did this effect, honestly. It's very cool, though.
That's something I haven't seen in any of the other levels you've shown me in the past.
There is a way. There's a mirror portal, which actually does have you straight up going backwards within the level, but that's not what that's doing. That's just an effect to make your model go backwards. I'm not entirely sure how they do that.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, though.
I mean, hey, if people can build Binding of Isaac within Geometry Dash, then I guess that's possible.
I mean, people can make like whole ass 3D levels and shit. Like, people made fucking Doom in this game. It's basically a game engine.
Yeah.
That's fair, dude. That's fair.
The only limitation is your mind, after all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, they have like the greatest hits where all the bosses show up.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. GG. That's the fucking level. Okay.
No, it's not.
Oh no, it's still going.
It's a fake out. There's like the secret boss kind of section.
Never mind. Dude, this reminds me of that one boss. I think it's from, what do you call it? Hat in Time? I think that fucker floats through similar to that.
I loved that. That was insane.
There we go. Very dramatic level.
God damn. That looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, there isn't a whole ton to say about that one because it's, the first level we've seen. You guys will have more to compare it to when we get on to our second one here, the pseudonym for this one being Techno.
Okay.
This is the main level I was concerned about when I was talking about bitrate issues, FYI. This level is very visually dense.
It looked pretty clean on the last one, so...
That's good. This one I couldn't... The problem is it's inconsistent, the quality of the actual rip I could find. I say rip, but the video I downloaded. Of course, I have the credits of the creators that uploaded the initial videos in the bottom left, so you guys can go look at their videos. I'll also, of course, be putting the links to these separate videos in the description if you want to go and check those out specifically.
Dude, you should never give anyone credit. What do you think you're doing here? Trying to divert our audience towards other people? I don't think so, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be a good Samaritan and also not like get copyright claimed or something.
Yeah.
That'd be great. How many do we have now?
What do you mean?
I thought we
How
had
many
some
what?
already. Copyright infringements.
I don't
know.
Well, there's that issue with like our intro or like our background music, but I don't think that's really an issue.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
Oh, here we go. It's becoming a... Feels like it's kind of like transitioning between a sunset level and just like
sunset level.
Yeah.
Well,
this one is
has
sunset
like
level.
Urban Dictionary of different Geometry Dash terms open in front of him.
This one definitely has way more visual noise going on. Like, holy fuck, dude.
Hell yeah, brother. This is the shit we're after. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, this is some insane stuff.
See, the thing is, I can't tell if this is actually difficult is the problem.
Well, that's the whole fucking point of this challenge, buddy.
Yeah, that's the tricky
yeah,
part,
I shouldn't be
man.
saying anything. Hold on, ignore that.
Well, I didn't hear you anyways, Dylan.
That's good. Nobody ever does.
Damn. What were you saying, Tanner?
I just mean, like, for all I know, they're like, okay, this is like a standard pattern where you just hit the spacebar this many times,
I mean,
so
a lot of
the
these
visual
levels
noise
just kind of have
doesn't
to do
matter.
with, like, memorization and shit like that. Like, that one I feel like doesn't really give you much room for any skill expression whatsoever. It's mostly just like, okay, here I need to click the mouse button 3 times, but in this specific order. If I fuck it up, I lose the entire
What was
run.
the name of that one? Techno?
Techno.
Do you have your dick out right now as well, Nico, or...?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Any other thoughts? You guys thinking that one is easier or harder than Theater?
I plead the fifth.
That one seemed easier to me, if for no other reason than it's shorter.
It is much shorter.
It was much shorter, yeah. The first one was like almost 3 minutes long, if not, I think, over 3 minutes. Difficulty does add a lot, because you guys have to know, of course, that if you die at any point, you get sent back to the beginning. So it is very punishing with much harder or much longer levels in that regard. Are you guys all in agreement with that? You guys all think Theater is harder than Techno, or are any of you guys contrarian to that opinion?
I plead the fifth, dude.
Yeah, I definitely do. It's so tough, because that one feels like it just looks so much more difficult. But the problem is that, like, I just don't think it is, It doesn't seem as demanding as that previous one, especially just due to the length difference here.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Dylan's not talking. He's conceding information, unfortunately, so we won't know, I guess, what his thoughts are until the very end.
Why would I allow the competition? This is a challenge, dude. Why would I allow the competition to know my thought processes?
You know what? Dylan's right. I'm done talking too.
You guys are all, let's have a fucking good episode here, guys. I need some discussion.
Yeah, exactly. You need to keep in mind here, Dylan, we're also trying to
Make content.
I'm trying to win, dude.
You guys are all in a very similar playing field, I feel like, in terms of your general knowledge of hard levels. So I feel like it doesn't really matter that much, but, it is what it is. You guys can hold with information back if you want to.
Yeah, we're all just gonna sit here and watch Geometry Dash for 20
Listen,
minutes.
dude, I may not have that much knowledge on hard levels, but I'm pretty sure I've played more than they have.
And?
I don't know.
Anyways, we're moving on to level C.
Let's go.
That being the code name Scary. I could not think of anything else to call it. This is a very, I'm not gonna say it. Jump scare!
Oh my
What?
god.
I called this level Scary specifically because the segment before you get to the drop is fucking memed hard as shit for being like a jump scare. Like people put it in like the name of the level jump scare all the fucking time. Or they'll have like a segment where like an Easter egg in a level where like it simulates the drop of this level and it's, you know, fucking this little jump scare.
That's fun. Yeah, so far it's looking not bad at all. Like, this seems too simple at the moment.
Unfortunately, this is one of those ones where it's like, it looks simple, but he's clearly avoiding obstacles we're not seeing besides the spikes that pop up intermittently. So this does have to do with, like, having map knowledge of, like, okay, I need to, at this interval of the song, or at this interval of the level, I need to hit this input, because if I don't, there's an invisible barrier there that will kill me. So, it's a lot, that's one thing to always consider when you're looking at levels like this, is just because the layout of the map looks simple doesn't mean that it is.
I mean, I disagree on that point, though, because it just doesn't really look like he is attempting to avoid any invisible barriers at all. It looks like he is just avoiding what we see right now.
There were a couple spots in there where I saw he was avoiding more than what we could see, but maybe that's just me. Who knows? Tanner, what say you?
You know, this song is kind of fun.
Oh, is this the jump scare?
Yeah, people fucking meme the shit out of that all the fucking time.
Very fun.
Here, like even this part doesn't seem that bad as the problem, but
yeah,
like...
I'm not trying to downplay.
I do this in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an everyday for Tanner. This is his fucking commute to work.
This is actually what delivering with Amazon is.
Dude,
I'd
I
be
believe
shocked
it.
at the kinds of fences people have out in their front yards.
Changing it up a bit.
Oh, here we go. They got the little runner part.
Yeah, it's picking up the pace. This is max speed here.
Holy smokes.
This is definitely still one of those ones where you benefit from multiple plays, because obviously nobody's gonna pass the levels first try.
Well, yeah, this is a fucking demon level. You can generally, especially a lot of these, again, are extreme demons. A lot of these take the average player thousands of attempts.
But like,
FYI. This doesn't, of course, I'm not saying this is an extreme demon. This could be the easy demon. This could be the insane demon.
that'll be left to judgment, I suppose, for later levels.
True.
Unless
You know
he's just jumping.
who else is the demon?
Jackson.
The demon inside me.
No, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh.
Dude, true. What are you trying to say, Dylan?
Well, I was gonna say, unless he's jumping for no reason, there's invisible barrier. It's hard to say, because some people, just because they know the level so well, or because they're bored with the level, or whatever you want to call it, sometimes they'll just throw in extra jumps just because. But like, there was a portion there at the end where he was just jumping for seemingly no reason, so we could.
I mean, it looked like it's because those like platforms were ending is why he was jumping.
I mean, maybe, but
It's
This
truly
is
impossible
actually
to say.
all task assisted, so it's only necessary movements.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was C, Scary. Where are you guys throwing
Dude.
that on your lists?
Like, it's so fucked, because, like, again, that one just did not at all look like it was anywhere near as difficult as the other levels. And I'm sure Jackson is currently just hooting and hollering right now in his chair. He's muted his mic. He's laughing so fucking hard how asinine of a statement that is. That C, Scary could not be anywhere near as difficult as the other levels. But I just can't believe that it is.
Yeah, I'm just busting again. Alright, you guys are all... It seems like you guys are all pretty unanimously thinking that Scary is the easiest option so far.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I suppose so.
I'm calling your bluff. You put these all in order, actually.
Yeah, they're just gonna progressively get easier over time. Theater was the hardest one you guys have seen so far.
Crazy.
Alright, anyways, moving on to level D, that being space.
Whoa.
I love space.
This is actually my favorite level in the game.
Really?
That means it's the easiest one, right?
No.
It has to be.
This level is fucking insane. It's
Well,
so it's
insane?
from a visual standpoint. It is fucking crazy to look at.
I don't
Yeah.
know, Jackson. You might be gaslighting now. Oh, it's this level!
I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
showed you this before.
You have.
This level's fucking badass.
Now, it being your favorite, you've beaten it then?
I'm not giving you guys any information on
Damn.
I don't know if I've beaten any of these.
I'm gonna go into the assumption you've beaten all these levels. I think you're fucking crazy. That's why you have carpal tunnel. It's because you played this shit too much.
I'm thinking it's because it's O's,
I did
dude.
play the shit out of this fucking game. Like, look at this shit. This shit's fucking insane.
It does
Okay.
have
Insane,
Russian
you say?
text all over the place.
Jackson, you're using that word a little more often than is,
Is this the insane demon? It might just be.
I mean, it had a Flappy Bird section, so I'd lead more credence to it being a pretty insane stage, because, like, those sections are just, like, really fucking difficult.
Nico looked up the fucking Geometry Dash thesaurus before starting this video. He's making sure he gets all the right words, I swear to God.
It's so short, though.
It is pretty
He's
short.
got his fucking quota, though. He needs to say skill expression 10 more times before
I
the
didn't
end
even
of this
say skill
segment.
expression in that one.
I know, I'm just saying you got your quota, dude. You gotta fulfill that shit. We're halfway done now, and you've only said it like 5 times. It's bullshit.
He knows what Flappy Bird is? This guy's read a thesaurus.
Anyways, that was D Space. Where are you guys thinking this one lands?
It's pretty up there, dude, I would say.
Tanner's putting it at number 2 below Theater. Okay.
You know, I think I'm gonna put it number 1 because Jackson is pretty crazy at this game, okay? He has his own, what should be ranked as a demon level, but for some reason isn't. Some people call it a Fook map. Those people are maybe a little insane, but you know, say la vie, I suppose.
True. Nico bringing up my dark and disturbed past of putting out a fucking hard demon, but it got rated as an 8-star insane for some reason.
Insane.
That shit's goofy as fuck still. I love reading the comments on that level, and everyone's just like, what the fuck is this? Why is this an 8-star? What the fuck? Anyways, I'm flipping the script for absolutely no reason. I'm the next level is W, WXYZ, ABCD WXYZ. This one is W. The name of it is, of course, Hatsune Miku.
Let's go, dude.
Dude, Jackson, you'll be delighted to hear that there's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype that are the ABCWVXYZ cards.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
That sure is a Hatsune Miku.
Ain't she cute?
Yeah, she's pretty sweet. Got all the leaks in the background and everything. Jackson, where'd the whole leak thing start for Hatsune Miku?
Dude, I should know that, but I don't.
What?
I feel like it's just from one of her older songs, like some fucking video of her with a leak, and it kind of just kicked off with that. I don't know exactly what song it is. I'm pretty sure I know what song it is, but like I don't want to misspeak and say the wrong one and seem like a fucking retard.
Gotcha, okay.
Isn't it just that the Japanese really like leaks for some reason?
I don't think it's that simple.
I mean, you know, Farfetch'd has a leak.
That's
What the
because
fuck?
of... Oh, holy
my
fuck!
God! Jesus Christ! I was like, this is such a snooze fest level. What the
Jesus
hell?
Christ.
God damn! I was sitting here. I was about to make the comment like, I'm pretty sure I could do this level.
Yeah, I think we found the easy demon, guys.
Oh my god. Okay, so that one also has a
my-
Flappy Bird. That's good to know. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
the
this
bit
one...
rate of suffering. Oh my God.
I mean, like, there's so many of these Geometry Dash levels that are an assault on the senses like this. How much does that truly factor into its difficulty, though?
That's the thing I'm wondering.
That is certainly a big reason why I picked a lot of these levels as well.
It's like, I feel like that's the red herring.
They're learning.
I feel like that's the Red October.
Yeah.
What? I think it's the Red Dawn.
You're telling me you know Red Dawn, but you don't know Red October. Oh, wait. He's talking about the remake.
I'm talking about both, but okay. It doesn't matter. They both have the same plot. Basically, it's just different countries.
Anyways, you guys thinking this level's still,
Oh, dude, this is for sure the easy demon, dude. What are you even talking about?
Whoa.
It's
There's a
not
little point.
striking me as all that difficult still.
Tanner's really just, like, not putting much credence into the Flappy Bird sections, I guess.
Dude, I'm a Flappy Bird master, so... Okay, what in the...
Like, this part
Dylan,
here...
does you trying that easy demon change anything at all with the way you're rating these?
I can't remember anything from that level, dude.
You couldn't get like half a second into the wave part, that's all I remember.
I don't remember
Interesting.
anything about that level, dude.
Anyways, W Hatsune Miku. I didn't put her at W for any particular reason. What are we thinking this level lands at here?
I'm gonna stand by my statement of this level feels like it's still a difficult level regardless, but this level feels like
They're
it
all
plays
demons.
itself.
That one was more of like a medium length.
I feel like you're putting too much value in the length of the songs, Tanner.
It does. They're not wrong. The length of a
know.
level does factor into difficulty a lot. Like generally speaking, if a level is like 2+ minutes, it's normally like a difficulty higher than other ones from a similar difficulty standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go second to last right now.
I'm thinking that's the easiest one.
I don't know about the easiest one.
I'm thinking it is, though.
Anyways, speaking of red herrings, we have Clubstep X Clubstep.
Ooh.
Clubstep, of course. Well, Clubstep is an official ROM top level. This isn't actually Clubstep. This is a much harder level with the pseudonym Clubstep.
Maybe that's why it doesn't
Okay.
look familiar then.
Yeah, I'm certain you've never seen this level before. The actual Clubstep looks nothing like this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Doesn't the community sometimes refer to him as Rub Rub instead?
Who?
Yes, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
He's just flexing his geometry dash knowledge,
Who's
dude.
Rub Rub? What the fuck did I miss?
That's the name of the creator of the game.
That's the name of Nico's tiny
Dude, oh my
ladyboy
fucking
escort.
God, what the hell is going on?
This level seeming pretty easy to you guys, or is it looking really hard?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not-
not looking too tough right now.
It's pretty middle of the pack, I would say.
It's looking a bit more difficult to me, especially because all these like fake spikes you're looking at in some of these sections.
True, like that dual part, there was a lot of fake spikes in those.
Yeah,
Here's a
and this
memorization
looks
portion.
silly right here.
I think this looks fucking rad.
Yeah, this is just pure memorization. You have to remember the exact path.
I mean, it seems like most of these levels are just pure memorization, so I don't think
I
that
wouldn't say-
should really do too much
Well,
to detract
you know,
from
I mean,
it.
there's certainly a difference between muscle memory and actual memorization.
Yeah, because memorization is more in the sense of you can't see anything there, but you have to know, like, okay, I jumped 3 times here, there's a drop here, then there's a jump and then a boost pad. It's not
I
like...
mean, Dylan,
like,
you've seen the shit that is in these levels, though. You can't tell me that, like, your ability to see anything should really do much for any of those sections either.
I definitely think I'm with Jackson. I definitely think there is a difference between memorization and muscle memory here. I don't think you're gonna look at an invisible level and say that, oh, I didn't need memorization for it.
But there's so much shit going on in most of these levels, it may as well be invisible.
I don't know, dude. There's still a difference.
You guys also, of course, have to take into account the fact that, again, 6 of these are extreme demons, and the average player takes thousands of attempts. That is,
Yeah.
like 50 plus hours of playing one fucking level, potentially. Crazy amount of
Right.
time. And, of course, there's memorization initially, like, learning the level, but a lot of it is really just, like, getting that muscle memory down and being able to memorize click patterns as you play a level a lot. Anyways...
I don't think that one was that bad. I'm gonna be putting it right... I'm gonna say it's the second from the easiest.
Second from the easiest, okay. Where are we else thinking? I see Tanner has it as the 3rd hardest, surprisingly. He's taking a very drastic difference than Nico here.
Yeah, that one struck me as being it required higher skill expression.
There we go. He's got the verbiage.
But that's the thing, Tanner. None of these require skill expression whatsoever. It's all
You know what?
memorization.
This entire game doesn't require skill expression.
Yeah.
That is a very funny statement, is that these extreme demons don't require skill expression. Very, very funny comment. Anyways, we've got two more to go here. Our second to last, of course, is Y, codename Jungle.
Rumble Ender Jungle.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's even more Flappy Bird.
Oh yeah, dude, this level has quite a bit of UFO gameplay.
Oh.
Oh, I don't like the tight spaces.
This is a very cramped feeling level, and everything's very
Yeah.
close together.
It is.
I hope, if I'm not 100% correct on my rankings, that I'm at the very least 100% wrong.
That would, well, as in, like, you got everything wrong. That would be funny.
Everything exactly backwards.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, Tanner's actually going for a high score. He's not. The inverse scoring system is actually an obstacle towards him. He's going for like 40 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Initial thoughts? What are you guys thinking about this level
Yeah,
so far?
so like, I think that on the surface, it definitely doesn't seem as crazy as the previous ones, but it definitely does feel a lot more demanding, though, of the player here, because, like, just, like, these tight corridors and shit, it feels like there's so much less room for error.
That's Yeah, literally what I was thinking exactly, where it's just like, in levels like that, even if it isn't the case, which obviously in this case it is, it just puts you in the mindset of like, if I don't do everything to a precise T, that I'm gonna screw up and fail the level. And it's like the anxiety of the cramped level on top of maybe the difficulty already being so high. And yeah, plus all like the precise, like either clicks or button presses, whichever you do. And it's just like, that's about like rhythmic timing and like muscle memory and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was as insane because there were less visual tricks, except for maybe the double diagonals going on. But I mean, even that's not necessarily a visual trick like we've seen in some of the other ones. So it's difficult, but not super difficult, I would say.
The problem I'm running into is that I forget what every level is like mere moments after watching it.
I was going to say, at the very end of this, we could go and look at some levels again if you guys wanted a refresher on them to maybe do some adjustments on your list, but we can look at that after we finish the last one here.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, the last one being Z, codename Love.
Oh no, the quad spikes!
Do you know if this is a copyrighted song?
None of this audio is playing in the podcast, so don't
Oh,
worry
it's not?
about
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm muting all of the levels. I'm not going to have any of the music
They're
playing.
just watching silent Geometry Dash gameplay.
Well, and they're going to be hearing us talk.
Yeah. And luckily we have our own badass background music, so it should be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Facts.
They're playing Geometry Dash to our background music.
I am genuinely just going to assume that songs with lyrics are not that difficult.
That's a bold assumption.
This is fucking acoustic. This can't possibly be hard.
I think I heard this in Nico's top 5 this year.
True, dude.
Listen, buddy, there's like one song that had an acoustic
Just like
guitar
the
in it.
live version of the fucking Will Woods song.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only version that there is.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't
Is
have.
it just like some random one-off, like not a published song or something?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, if this was Nightcore, you know, maybe I'd think lyric songs were difficult. But,
There you
Tanner,
go.
I think you have a skewed assumption of things.
we'll see when I fucking win.
Does this map seem pretty doable to you guys so far?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem that bad, all things
No.
considered.
There have been a couple moments where he has to avoid certain things, and there's been some, like, pathing that he has to do.
I mean, like,
Which,
let's just say this here, Jackson. This is no bloodbath for sure.
Holy shit, he knows one. I was actually thinking about putting Bloodbath in. Bloodbath and like Cataclysm are two of the most known levels in this game, or like maybe
Yeah.
Sonic Wave I'd put in there too, but alas.
Yeah. Could have been a hipster and put, like, Aftermath.
Dude, how the fuck do you know about Aftermath? I mean, you probably that's part of the like the trilogy. There's
Yeah.
3 Aftermath, Bloodbath, and Cataclysm. They're the Apocalyptic Trilogy. It's their fucking code name.
Have you beaten any of those?
I told you I'm not going to tell you anything about any of these levels.
No, but, like, those are
Including
included
ones
in
that have
here.
nothing to do with
yeah, I was
it.
gonna say those weren't included.
Anyways, guys, that was Z Love. Where are we thinking this one places in the ranking here?
That one really didn't seem that bad. I mean, that was, like, a bit of a longer one, though.
Yeah,
How
I
long was
gonna say
it?
It's a decently longer one.
How long was that one? Was that one pushing 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 2.5 minutes there on that one.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty normal. I'm thinking... Dude. I think I got my ones to lock in here. I think I'm putting that third from the bottom. I don't think it was that bad.
Okay.
I was also thinking third from the bottom.
I like that you guys all have different top ones here on the list. Tanner thinking that theater is the hardest, Nico thinking that jungle is the hardest, and Dylan thinking that space is the hardest. Any of these other levels you guys want to go back to potentially, maybe get a refresher and see if you want to update your ranking or, think if you want to, just solidify where it's placed?
I'm gonna be real, it probably won't help me.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm pretty good personally. I think I got this all on lockdown.
Okay, so and I'm just gonna run down for the audience here that can't see our Discord because they're not in our Discord and not watching this live. Tanner is of course saying that he thinks theater is the hardest. Next being space, then club step, then jungle, then techno, then love, then Hatsune Miku, and then scary is the easiest. Nico personally is thinking that jungle is the hardest, then space, then theater, then techno, then scary, then love, then club step, and then finally Hatsune Miku being the easiest. And then Dylan finishing off here thinking that space is the hardest, then techno, then theater, then club step, then jungle, then love, then Hatsune Miku, and then scary. And it does seem like you guys are pretty consistent thinking that Hatsune Miku is on the lower end. It looks like Tanner and Dylan think it's the insane demon of the bunch. Tanner and Dylan also thinking that scary is the easy demon of the bunch.
Okay.
And then Nico's different there. He thinks that Hatsune Miku is actually the easy demon, and then he thinks that Clubstep's the insane demon.
Yeah.
And let's find out here with my handy dandy little program here, which I will input your guys' guesses here, and then we'll see if they're correct or not. So ADXY BZWC. Tanner got a score of 14.
Oh.
What?
Holy smokes, is
That
that good?
sounds bad. What is it out of?
Well, there isn't any. That just means that you got your 14 places incorrect, basically. The total. So like let's say if theater is actually number 2 and you put it at number 1, that is a score of 1 for theater because it's 1 different than what it should be.
Okay.
So
We're doing golf rules.
Yeah, correct. So 14 is 14 off of 0. 0 is a perfect score. I mean, you got all of them correct.
Ah, shit.
I don't know if 14 is good or not.
We'll find out, dude.
I guess we'll see. I'm gonna put it Nico to come up fucking 40 or some shit. All right, Nico is thinking YDABCZXW with a score of 14.
Holy shit.
It's a fucking tie game here. Dylan, of course, is going
good or bad?
DBAXYZW. See, hopefully it's not 14 as well. That'd be fucking hilarious. Score
Oh!
Damn it.
Holy
of 16.
shit.
We have a 2-way tie here. Number 1, of course, goes to both Nico and Tanner. Dylan in last place at number 2,
Last
unfortunately.
place, he says.
What was the correct order then?
Of course, yeah, I'll tell you guys that. I'll also tell you their places on the demon list, their overall ranking globally. So
Wow.
the easiest level that we saw today was Change of Scene by Blee, which was theater. That was the easiest level we saw.
Really?
Holy shit.
That was the easy demon. Number 2, the insane demon, was Miku 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 by Oddmo. Of course, that is Hatsune Miku. So yeah, both Tanner and Dylan got that one correct. Congratulations, guys.
Ah, damn. I just had a little more faith that it'd be a bit easier, you know?
It was a pretty easy looking level. And then the next 6, of course, are all extreme demons. The highest difficulty of demon in this game. Of course, those also vary a lot. Like Cataclysm is a pretty easy extreme demon, and then something like the hardest level in the fucking game. They're like astronomically different in difficulty. Like it's like comparing fucking Stereo Madness, the first level in the game, to like Cataclysm. The difference between Stereo Madness and Cataclysm is like the difference between Cataclysm and the hardest level in the game. Just
Jesus.
for a frame of reference.
Oh my god.
It's insane. It's actually like absurd. Like I could get through a practice session of Cataclysm pretty easily. I don't think I could even get through practice mode run of like anything in the top 10.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
unfathomably difficult. So that's just the level we're looking at here with extreme demons.
Right.
And the easiest extreme demon we looked at today was EXO by Cramel, which was of course love.
Oh.
So yeah, Tanner and Dylan. Oh, all 3 of you guys got that
Yeah.
one correct.
Hell yeah, brother.
Congratulations. Alrighty, all of the next 5 are on the demon list, so they are like rated of like the hardest peak difficulty in the game. Number 142 in the world is Congregation by Presto, which is scary.
Damn.
So Tanner, Nico, you
Yeah.
actually got that one
I got
correct. There we go. That one is deceptively hard. I should probably explain why these levels are fucking hard. Congregation is a timing level, so it looks kind of easy on the surface, but there are a lot of really precise timings. Like that entire level, it looks kind of simple, but basically every single jump, kind of consider like every single jump is basically a triple spike. And that's a way of like wrapping your head
Yikes.
around it. Basically, every fucking jump they have to do on that level, you have to time that like perfectly, or else you fucking die. And it's like 3 minutes of straight timings. It is a very daunting challenge for a lot of people.
Gotcha.
All right, next up, number 4 here on our list, and number 84, the 84th hardest level in the game, Cold Sweat by Para, which of course is techno. And looks like Nico also got that one correct. If we were looking at just who got which levels correct, it's looking like Nico might be in first place here.
What can I say? I know my shit, dude.
He's fucking popping off. That level, first section of it, like the cue parts, are just like a lot of timings and memorization. The UFO part is just straight up fucking spam clicking as fast as possible. It is, honestly, the UFO part is hard because it just destroys your stamina. And then you get to the wave part, and that section is absurdly precise, and you have to, it's a really fucking hard wave part, and after you have to do that like really fast, super precise clicking after just destroying your stamina with like a straight fucking spamming part on the UFO.
Yeah.
Hence why it is the 84th hardest level in the game, which is still absurdly difficult. Next up, we have the 48th hardest level in the game, that being The Golden by Bo, that being Jungle on your guys' list. Yeah. And looks like none of you guys got that one correct. That level, pretty self-explanatory why it's hard. It's just super tight. It's a lot of very precise movements. You have to be basically just like constantly clicking to keep yourself set with everything. Tons of like really precise timings. Super difficult. It's pretty short too, which means that the difficulty is generally very compressed, and it is just it's just a really hard fucking level. That's basically going to be the synopsis of the rest of these levels. They're all just really fucking hard.
Yeah, that shit definitely did look intense. You'd be fucking sweating your ass off trying to get through that shit.
Oh yeah. All right, the next two, number 12 in the world, Kokmak, aka Cosmos, I think in Russian, by Cherry Team. That is space, and looks like Nico and Tanner both got that one correct. Yeah, number 12th hardest level in the game. That shit's fucking insane. Both visually and also gameplay wise, it is just absurdly hard. It's a wave based level. There's a lot of wave sections that are just absurdly precise and tight. It's just a really hard fucking level. And of course, the hardest level in the game, and by the hardest level in the game, I mean the 4th hardest level in the game, not actually the hardest level in the game, is Silent Clubstep by The Real Salient. Of course, that one being Clubstep.
I'd imagine that's the bulk of why I scored that low, I suppose.
Yeah, you got a full fucking like 7 points for Clubstep there.
And the bulk for me is that I had theater so high.
Yeah. Unfortunate. You guys could have really, maybe if you guys look back at those levels, potentially you would have known.
I had Scary
Probably
Solo
not.
too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and you guys might be thinking, how the fuck is Silent Clubstep so hard? That shit makes no sense. That level looked easy as fuck.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's because there are a lot of just insane choke points on that level. Like, there are some easy parts, like the memorization part. You guys might be thinking that this might be hard, but no, it's just memorization. There isn't
That's
any,
what
like,
I was
actual,
saying!
there isn't any mechanical difficulty in it whatsoever, but there are some just like absurdly hard mechanical difficulty sections. Like this spam section doesn't look that bad, but you have to go like really fucking fast consistently for that. There's a ship part. Yeah, this ship part is fucking absurd how difficult it is. Like it's crazy tight, and you have to go up an incline and through a fucking mirror portal. Keeping yourself steady through that is really fucking hard.
Gotcha.
And then even before that, like this duel section, it's kind of hard to see because the bitrate fucking sucks. But there's like 2 frame perfects in this duel section, and of course you can't align yourself or anything, so you have to line up frame perfects by like just pure muscle memory because all the fucking spikes look the exact same. There's a lot of bullshit like that. This is like easy the most red herring level in the list, unsurprisingly. It doesn't look that hard from, you know, an onlooker's perspective, but this level is absurdly difficult. It's a crazy amount of frame perfects, and it requires a massive amount of mechanical skill at a lot of different choke points. Like another one, like it is fucking stupid. There's like a shit part with a bunch of like mirror portals, and it's fucking bullshit. Crazy hard level. That's the TLDR. That's all you guys really need to know about it.
Damn.
Well, congratulations, Nico and Tanner. You guys both got the fucking dub. Let's go.
Yeah, Tanner, come in here. Let's do the Predator hand grasp here real quick.
No.
Okay.
Damn. Well, anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this, please comment. Maybe I'll do it again with a different batch of levels. These guys have maybe a potential basis to work off of for future challenges, so maybe they'll do better next time if we ever do this again.
Potentially not. I guess we'll see.
Probably.
Yeah, but then you guys all did pretty fucking terrible.
Exactly.
But you know what? It is.
Ouch.
But that means there's only upward momentum for us from here.
You'd think so.
You can only do better from here. Well, actually, I think Nico he got 1, 2, 3 correct placements. Tanner got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think maybe if you're looking at it that way, Tanner may have actually got the dub in that, but that's not the
tiebreaker. I did it.
There we go. That's not the score system we're doing. Oh, well. Anyways, moving on to our next topic. Are we talking about some songs, boys?
Oh,
no, I'd rather not.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about some songs, guys. Dylan, you're the one who most recently listened to all of these, so how are you feeling about them?
I liked this year's bout of songs a lot more, more or less than last time, but we also had an additional person, so technically that doesn't count. But I overall in general,
we should probably mention that.
Overall in general, liked the songs this year more than last year. So yeah. Goddamn, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I was still sharing my screen.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're displaying them scores out for all of us to see.
Whoops. Yeah, just for a heads up here, Blake was planning on being on the episode, quote unquote. Unfortunately, he could not make it, given some generic excuse, but we did, in fact, still listen to his top 5 of the year. Yeah, but we should probably explain what the fuck this is, anyways. So we, of course, all got our, YouTube recap, our Spotify wrap, that type of thing, and we're all rating each other's top 5 most listened to songs this year. So yeah, I guess Dylan, start us off. What did you think about everyone's music? I guess just go for it.
Yeah, I'll make this quick because I'm. So yeah, I have a matrix like I did last time. I'm gonna be judging the songs based on, and these are completely arbitrary. So please feel free to laugh as I explain them. I'm looking at you specifically, Tanner. I'm basing the songs off of general vibe, pace, engagement, instrumentals, and vocals. I don't remember what I did last year, but
you did some dumb bullshit like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. I also offered bonus points based on whether or not I added the song to my playlist or not, which is what I also did last year. So starting off, I guess I'll also say the lowest score that I gave anybody this time around was 11, out of a potential, I think, like 25. And then the highest score I gave somebody was a 24.
I wonder who that could be.
You'd actually be shocked.
Oh, okay. Blake.
So, starting off with Jackson, we've got Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower by Tsukiyomi. Fucking love this song. I actually already had this song in my playlist, so yeah, I like the general vibe of this song. I love the instrumentals. I think Tsukiyomi's a great vocalist, and I like the combination of like just instrumentals they have in the song as well. And basically, just to have a rundown, like vibe is kind of just like if it like everybody has like their kind of genre of music, so that's kind of what vibe is supposed to be, whether or not it like meshes with your taste in music or not. Engagement is like how into the song you get, like whether or not you're like tapping along, singing along, whatever you want to call it. It's like what engagement would be. I'm not gonna try to get too into the weeds of this because it would take too long and I can't remember the songs really that well. So I gave it a 5 on vibe, 5 on pace, 4 on engagement, 5 on instrumentals, and 5 on vocals with a score of 24 with the bonus for playlist. Next up is Sunny by Yorushika. I don't know a lot of songs by Yorushika, but the ones that I do know are really good. I'm just huge into like the J-pop scene. It's just kind of the TLDR here, and unfortunately, it's literally Jackson's entire top 5. So this is going to be a really easy, liked top 5 for me as well. I like Dusk and Matter more, so gave it a 4 on vibe, 4 on pace, 3 on engagement, 4 on instrumentals, 5 on vocals, with a total of 20. If there's like something like I want to point out about a song, or if it's bad in any particular way, I'll probably expound on it. Next up is Value by Ado. Actually, right now, Ado's probably one of my top favorite artists that I like to listen to. Value and Show were the two first songs I ever heard by her. And I don't know, I really love her vocals. I love the the variations and, song types that she does and the range and ability of her voice. So yeah, very, very much top favorite artist for me. Also a song I had in my playlist already. So I gave it a 4 in vibe, 4 in pace, 5 in engagement, 4 in instrumentals, and a 5 in vocals. Next up, we have Papanda, I don't know if that's how you say it, by Utsupi and Kasane Tito. This one was pretty good. It's a very weird song. Utsupi songs tend to be a little weirder, but luckily that doesn't really discourage me. I do still like Utsupi songs. I think they're great. I think, they can make good workout songs, at least for varying it up a little bit. I'm also just a fan of, different music. So for Papanda, I gave it a 3 on vibe just because it's a little weird. It's hard to get into usually right off the bat. 4 in pace, 4 in engagement, 4 in instrumentals, and 3 in vocals just because Utsupi's vocals can be really weird sometimes, for a total of 18. And then lastly, we had Compass by Millie. This is the lowest scoring song from Jackson. I have a few Millie songs. I'm not the biggest Millie fan, but, I like a little palate cleanser every once in a while. The song was fine. It was just a little slow and soft, and it dragged a little bit for me. I still enjoyed it. It's just not, fully what I was looking for in a song. So I gave it a 3 in vibes, a 3 in pace, a 2 in engagement, a 3 in instrumentals, and a 3 in vocals for a total of 14. Jackson averaged a 19.6 overall, and his total score, discluding the bonuses, is a 98. With the bonuses, if you don't count the 2 I already had in my playlist, is 113, but if you do count the 2, it's 123. So good job, Jackson.
Wow.
Me and you love the same music. What's up?
I just wanted to suggest, I feel like this section would flow better if we rotate the people and talk about the same song. So, me and Nico now do our things of Jackson's, and then I'd say after that, have Jackson and he chooses one of us, and then we piggyback off of that, and then go in a circle like that.
I think that's a decent idea, Tanner.
Thank God. I was about to say, me going on forever sounds awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Please, have somebody else go. Thank you.
Nico, would you like to give your thoughts on Jackson's top 5?
Yeah, sure, why not? So, I'm just gonna say, generally speaking here, how I felt about your guys' playlists here was that, I liked one of them substantially more than the rest of the songs. One of them I did not like very much, and the rest of them just kind of blended together for me, so I really have nothing to say about them. It's for Jackson, most of the songs I definitely feel very nice and chill is the best way I can describe them, and that's how I will for the 3 songs I will not talk about whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, for the Utsupi song, I just have a problem with songs that have, alarms or sirens in them. I don't like it very much, especially when I'm driving. It's very distracting. I'm not a big fan.
Damn.
That's very funny.
And obviously, I think Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower was the standout here. It was for sure the best. Just the instrumentals for the song were great, particularly whenever they'd bring back that guitar from the beginning of the song into segments. Just that guitar felt very raw, and they didn't really synthesize it. It was the super clean sound, which just made it sound a lot better and stand out much more against the rest of the instrumentals, which generally did give it a vibe of a group jamming out together. Now, I'd also just like to kind of spin this off real quick into a little discussion about the language barrier I have with songs, particularly a lot of the times with Jackson's music. Because a lot of a decent amount, at the very least, of Jackson's music, I feel are these Japanese songs with more emotional cores to them that just end up being completely lost on me.
Unfortunate.
Because, when it comes to, that sort of language barrier and songs of different languages, I prefer ones that try to convey more of an upbeat or angry emotions, because those are just sensations that feel much easier to sell through instrumentals alone, whereas more sad and introspective songs require a lot more resonating with the lyrics, and I can't do that with Japanese. I don't speak the language.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's pretty valid. I would disagree, obviously. I think I can get the emotions out of just the singer's voice and get caught in the vibes of the instrumentals personally, but that's just a difference in people.
I suppose
yeah,
so.
I kind of agree with Jackson. I'm familiar with some of the videos. When I watch the music videos for some of these Japanese songs, I get the idea because art is very easily portrayed through visuals, obviously. But, it's also the matter of I possibly understand these songs more from a base language level than, I'm not going to say everybody here, because I think Jackson, might may or may not know more than I do. But I do generally, like, I'd say 30% of the time know what they're talking about when they're singing in these songs. I'm not super
They said
confident,
pork bun right there. I know that word.
That's not... Fuck you, Nico. I'm done talking. Somebody
Very
else say
funny.
something about this.
My big takeaway with Nico's review of it is that he thinks that Compass blends in with fucking Sunny and Value. That's funny as fuck
Yeah,
to me.
that's
There's like two
fucking
J-pop
insane.
songs and then some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I liked that Compass is from that one game. You know the one, Jackson.
Yeah.
But also, unfortunately, Dusk and Matter, by the way, is from, like, fucking Bochi, I heard. Or at least they have it in there. Major points docked for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nico will dock points for seemingly no reason sometimes, so...
It's a joke, Dylan. I don't have any points.
My turn?
Yeah, go for it.
This is something that's going to be mentioned probably a couple times in this review. I am very much the opposite of Nico when it comes to lyrics. Lyrics are not important to me. I don't care. They really do not drive my enjoyment of a song. I almost look at vocals as an instrument more than like words, you know?
Based?
So like music that is primarily lyric driven, like rap music, it just does not connect to me because I don't care. If I want words, I'll read a book.
Have you considered not being a fucking hater and just, like, you know, enjoying the beauty that is music, Tanner?
I am.
I think
I'm enjoying the music parts of the music. What are you talking about?
I think we all have our own introspective takes on this.
So what I wound up doing is I gave the songs a score out of 5, added them up to get like a total score for each of you guys, and then I also ranked the songs in order of how much I enjoyed them. And I'll go ahead and just go in order from bottom to top of the rankings here. So for Jackson, I gave Sunny, Compass, Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower, and Value all a 3 out of 5.
Damn.
And in that order from bottom to top. Sunny, you know, that's a J-pop song.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this one before. You know, J-pop is fine for me. It's not something I get excited about. Compass, it's fine. It's too calm for my liking. Another big thing for me is, like, I like music that is fast, loud, and aggressive. That's just what I listen to music for usually.
And it's who you are, dude.
That too. I am fast, loud, and aggressive. I'm at least 2 out of 3 of those things. And arguably 1 out of 2. Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower. It's a fun one. I like the piano. It's still... It's good, you know? It's fine. I won't say good. 4 out of 5 is good. 3 out of 5, it's fine. It's a J-pop thing, you know? And then at my very top, and then Value, I like this one a lot more on the second playthrough, and especially appreciate the vocal performance more.
Hell yeah.
So that one might be one that grows on me more if I listen to it a couple more times. And then at my very top was P Panda. Probably predictably, it's loud, fast, and aggressive. It's a metal fusion whatever song. So that's definitely why I liked it the most. So Jackson got a total of 16 points. Whoa! And I'll reveal at the end where that ranks him relative to everyone. Jackson, you go ahead and kick us off on the next round of reviews.
I guess I'll just go right into my lowest scoring performer here. So yeah, all of my reviews were just 1 to 10, and then I added them all up. Blake got... I'm not gonna give the actual like numbers of each of them because I don't want people to feel bad, but Blake did in fact get a 24 out of 50. Means he scored on average lower than a fucking 5 out of 10 on all his songs. Is how you could look at that.
We're just not dubstep guys, you know.
Yeah, he has a lot of electronic songs. All of them are electronic songs. The general takeaway behind most of them is that I like the pre-drops and stuff, but I did not like the drops. They're just not my genre, so I guess I'll just go into the nitty-gritty of all of them here. Play with Fire. I like the pre-drop, but I found the first part of the drop quite annoying, gets better over time. Flare, I wrote, interestingly structured track. I like the deep long bass sections. The drop is pretty unique. Want to hear it on Blake's sound system with some nice subs. Not a big fan of the second drop. Laser Beam, I put, another case of liking things except the drop. First drop's pretty annoying. Started to get into it a little on the second drop. Taking Back, I wrote, what the fuck, lol. The drops are hilarious and just gets better the longer they go on.
I want to know why he listens to the song so much, apparently. I just can't get in the headspace of it.
The drops are fucking hilarious because like they just keep getting weirder and weirder as they go on. Yeah. It's just like it just compounds over time. It's crazy. And then Craft Report, I wrote, didn't leave that much of an impression on me. It's an alright inoffensive track, and that's my takeaway behind Blake's. Is I don't like the drops, but I think the pre-drops have some of them pretty good, and I didn't like most of them, to be honest. Oops.
Fair. I guess to keep the circle flowing. Yeah, so Blake's average was a 15.2, and I do believe that is the lowest out of everybody here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I am seemingly more into dubstep and what I would call electronic. I have a slight distinction between the two, but regardless, it doesn't matter here. So Play With Fire by Oliver's, I think is his highest scoring song for me. Yeah, it's his highest scoring song. I don't have the nitty-gritty like Jackson does. I like the combination of vocals and the instrumentals, I think were the strongest parts of it. And usually when those kind of line up, you get kind of the vibe. The pacing was fine. The engagement of the song was kind of whatever. I couldn't super get into it. It was, it wasn't a great song, wasn't a bad song. So I gave it a 4 on vibes, 4 on pace, 3 on engagement, 5 on instrumentals, and 4. And I actually added this one to my playlist. I found out, and I did my own, internal research, any song below, 17 or whatever, for whatever reason, didn't make it into my playlist. I don't know if there's, some kind of math behind that, but wait. Yeah. Next up, Crash Report. Yeah, I'm kind of, for these next 3, I'm kind of whatever on these. It was a lot of, dubstep, repeat step. I think Nico flamed me at one point for this kind of thing, or maybe listening to this kind of music. It just got, these songs were just repetitive. The pace felt off. The instrumentals or whatever, they weren't creative. There were no vocals, because, it's dubstep, techno, electronic, whatever you want to call it. And, these songs don't vibe with me because there's too much clashing going on. So I'm just gonna blaze through these. Crash Report, I gave it a 3 on vibes, 2 on pace, 3 on engagement, 3 on instrumentals, and 3 on vocals for a total of 14. Taking Back, by the same artist, 2 on vibes, 3 on pace, 2 on engagement, 2 on instrumentals, and 2 on vocals with a total of 11. Laser Beam, I don't know, this one was very repetitive, I didn't like it. 3 on vibe, 3 on pace, 3 on engagement, 3 on instrumentals, and 2 on vocals for a total of 14. Flare, I thought was a good change of pace. It wasn't anything too intense. I agree with Jackson. I like the way that it was set up. It wasn't super intense. The pace felt just about right. It was decently engaging, I suppose. I also added this one to my playlist. So Vibe, gave it a 4, 3 on pace, 3 on engagement, 3 on instrumentals, and 3 on vocals for a total of 17. With a total of just 76 for just the songs, and 10 bonus points for a total of 86 for Blake. So, yeah. Who's next?
You guys are really raring to go to say your guys' reviews here.
I know.
I assumed we were going to keep the same order, so, Nico.
So, my review of Blake's music is, it sure is dubstep, ain't it?
It sure is, buddy.
I really don't have anything to say about his songs.
There we go. It's just that easy, I guess. Tanner, I guess that means you're up.
Yeah, my thoughts. So Blake got a total of 17 points on my system, which makes him ahead of Jackson so far. Let's put it that way.
Holy shit.
And then bottom to top of his songs again, Flare, my least favorite by far, one of the lowest scored songs that I listened to. This one was fucking boring. I didn't like this one at all. Play With Fire, like the vocals and the energy, otherwise pretty standard EDM song to me, 3 out of 5. Crash Report, I swear to God, the backing beat is just Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Let's go back and listen to it.
I was listening to the whole song, and I was like, this sounds familiar. And then I get close to that, and I'm like, this is just Get Lucky. What the... Anyway, it's fine, I guess, but I'm confused. 3 out of 5. Crash Report, no, Crash Report is the Get Lucky. No, wait. Oh, I've done 3. Jesus. Laser Beam. This one is very funny. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It made me laugh. 4 out of 5. And then Taking Back, this shit was so funny. No Notes, easily the most entertaining song I have heard.
That is
out of our entire group.
Take.
I gave this one a 5 out of 5.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I only have 2 5 out of 5s in our entire thing this year, so...
That's better than me.
I'm probably never listening to it again, because it's like, it's barely music, but it brought me so much joy, I can't not give it props for that, you know? So yeah, I guess
we can talk about Tanner next.
Sure, Jackson, go ahead and talk about me, please.
I'd love to talk about Tanner. Tanner was actually my second highest ranked, with a score of 35 overall.
What?
Holy cow.
Let's go.
He's fucking popping off TLDR. Anyways,
I like how 3 of us are using, like, number systems, but they're completely different from each other, so it's just fucking confusing.
there's
It
no
doesn't matter,
consistency
dude.
at all.
Dude, I'm just fucking vibing over here, dude.
Same.
Anyway, speaking of vibing, Berserkier, I wrote average Berserkier glazing song, fun little metal song. I enjoyed it. I think it was funny. I like how the entire time you're listening to that song, I'm just like visualizing this fucking manimal running around in combat or something. It does a good job of just making you think about some fucking guy with like a couple of axes or something to run around slaughtering people. Anyways, Sparta. This is my least favorite of Tanner's tracks. I wrote still not a crazy fan of this one. Oh, Sparta. I think it's funny as fuck that they say it like 10 times in a row at the end. Redemption, I wrote, this is a fun song. I like the electric guitar solo. Would want to hear this live. They sound like they're having a fun time playing it. The Trooper, I wrote, this is another fun one. Nice throwback. And Kingslayer was my favorite of Tanner's, and I wrote, love the electro metal fast-paced instrumentals. Has some breakcore in the back breakdown. Definitely my type of metal song. Ironically, I think baby metal drags it down for me.
Interesting.
Really?
I don't particularly like their vocals. I don't think it meshes super well with the rest of it. I'm not really a big baby metal guy. I think some of their songs are good. Like I like Road of Resistance and some other ones, but generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of them.
Are they the ones who are tainting the song with the screeching?
No, they weren't screaming. They were the fucking girls.
They were the best part.
Alas, to each their own. I like screamo.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Do I have the oldest song on any of our lists with the Trooper?
I think that's like an 80s song.
It
I don't
is,
think anything
yeah.
else
The
is any
Trooper is from
close.
like the 70s, I think.
I looked it up. It's 83.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say I'm pretty sure that Iron Maiden got their start in like 1980.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Alright, then next is
There you
me. Yeah, no, this is actually, oddly enough, that's the second quote-unquote baby metal. That's not even their song, but it's the second baby metal song that I know, and I'm actually a decently huge fan of them. So I'm surprised I don't listen to more
You
of their
know
music.
2 of their songs, and
I
you're
know.
going to call yourself a decently huge fan.
I'm pretty
I
big
like their
into them,
music,
dude.
I like the music. You can be a fan of something, and anyway, not aside the point.
And not listen to any of their stuff.
Listen, dude, if you saw my playlist, you'd understand.
I don't think I would, because it would have no baby metal in it.
Listen, buddy, if Dylan was wearing a baby metal shirt and someone asked him to name one of their songs, he could do it twice.
I could do it twice. Isn't that
He can do
pretty
it
cool?
once and a half. He knows a feature song.
Anyway, shut up and let me rate your songs, Tanner. Yeah, so Tanner averaged a 19.6, which ties him, actually, with Jackson. Another fun fact here is that Tanner is the only other person out of everybody where I added, or technically Jackson already had 2 of them, where I added all of the songs to my playlist.
Wow.
Yeah, oddly enough, Tanner, I actually do like the music that you listen to. It's like a dark horse, like, listen for me. I guess I would say that the 2 I hesitated on adding was Redemption and Sparta. I was really unsure if I wanted to add those.
Dude, those are the 2 that I don't think should be in my top 5.
Isn't Pentakill a fucking League of Legends group or some shit?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So, I guess me and you were the only... I was really, like, I had inhibitions about putting a fucking League of Legends song in my playlist, but then I saw yours and I felt better. Anyway, yeah,
I like
Berserk
a lot of other Pentakill songs.
That's fair, dude. Yeah, so Berserk here, I mean, with this kind of music, it's very engaging. The vibe is either hit or miss. You're either into this music or you're not. Vocals, I will say, especially when it comes to Screamo, is very dependent. I am not the biggest Screamo fan. I don't think a majority of these songs are Screamo. I think it's literally just Sparta is probably the only one that I would consider Screamo.
These are, just so you don't get tore up in the comments, these are not Screamo.
Yeah, none of these are.
I equate to, it's not important.
Based, Dylan, based.
Anyway, dude, I listen to
Speak
Bullet
your
for My
truth,
Valentine.
it's real.
I listen to Bullet for My Valentine. I have no room to... They're not even Screamo, they're death metal.
They are Screamo, actually, and they're not death metal.
No, shush.
It all hurts my ears, it's all the same bullshit.
Anyway, for Berserk here, Brothers of Metal, 4 on vibes, 4 on pace, 4 on engagement, 4 on instrumentals, and 4 on vocals for a total of 20 with the bonus. The Trooper Iron Maiden, I do like the throwback. I was very unsure if I wanted to add this to my playlist. Not the highest scoring song.
It's one of the most famous heavy metal songs of all time.
Yeah, it's
like,
good.
yeah,
It was a good
throwback.
It was a good mix-up. Gave it a 3 on vibes, 4 on pace, 3 on engagement, 4 on instrumentals, 3 on vocals for a total of 18 plus the bonus. Sparta, the cover art was kind of nice, I guess. By
You
War
like the
Kings.
naked babes on it, eh?
3 on vibes. It was just kind of hard to. It was one of those ones where it was like not super into it. 5 on pace. I just like I'm kind of like you, Tanner. I like the intense, like heavy metal, like engaging, aggressive music. I think that shit rocks. It's good workout music, or gaming music, depending on how you look at it. 3 on engagement, 4 on instrumentals, 3 on vocals. Again, with that kind of singing, it's just kind of hard to really say if it's good or not. Kingslayer being your highest scoring out of all of them for me, with Baby Metal. To be honest, I think the score is higher because of Baby Metal. I didn't think the vocals on Bring Me the Horizon was all that great. So when I score vocals, it's pretty much based on Baby Metal. I gave it a 4 on vibes, a 5 on pace, a 4 on engagement, a 5 on instrumentals. I thought the combination of everything they had going on, the way that it meshed together was very nice. Where was I? And a 4 on vocals for a total of 22 plus the bonus. Redemption.
Dude, honestly, Bring Me the Horizon's vocals are usually hit or miss for me. I really fuck with them on this song. Especially the line where he's like, "You're a puppet, when I cut your strings off, don't come crawling back." The way he delivers that line specifically, I'm like, dude, this hits so fucking hard.
It resonates with me. Lyrics can be good.
No.
That you literally just... Anyway.
I just mean the sound of it.
I wasn't listening that
He likes how it
closely,
sounds when they speak.
And then lastly for Redemption on Pentakill, this one was interesting. It was a different vibe about it entirely, like, aside from all your other songs. So it threw me off a little bit. But, overall, I think it was a pretty good song. Nothing really to complain about here, so I gave it a 4 on vibes, a 4 on pace, 4 on engagement, 4 on instrumentals, 4 on vocals for a total of 20 plus the bonus. So Tanner scored an 88. Plus, the full 25-point bonus to get him to net him a 113. In case I didn't say it, Jackson's was also 113 if you weren't counting the 2 I already had in my playlist, in which case it would make it 123.
Whoa.
But you guys tied an average, so that's pretty good.
I think it makes the most sense to count ones you already had in your playlist.
Then Jackson scored 123, but you guys tied on average.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Nico,
Well,
excoriate me.
Dude. I mean, it's going to be the same song and dance as Jackson's. As I said before, it's a bit of a theme between the two of you here. However, I have to say, dude, I can't believe that your worst song from last year made it into your top 5 again. How does that happen?
I can't... It's autoplay, dude. Like, this and Redemption, I swear to God, I skip 9 times out of 10. So I can only assume Spotify counts autoplay shit, whether it gets skipped or not, as long as it pops up on your feed.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, I've listened through Redemption maybe 3 times, but for some reason, when I put on my fucking shuffle, it just pops that one up constantly.
Oh, well.
Yeah, as for the rest of your songs, though, I gotta say, I was under the impression that all League bands would just be generic pop, so when I saw Pentakill pop up, I was like, that's an interesting choice, but you know what? I was pleasantly surprised by it.
There we go.
Nah, dude, Pentakill is the original League band.
It is?
There we go.
Yeah. It was the first one they ever did. I think Pentakill was like fucking 2012, 2011.
Dude, I thought they just had
early.
Imagine Dragons make all their music up until KDA.
Facts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for your best song, Tanner, I haven't listened to much Iron Maiden, but I did think that The Trooper was for sure my favorite from this batch here. Yeah, I'm a big fan of rock from this era, so, like, which, you know, it fucking sucks, by the way, that we had to waste so much fucking time back in our history of rock and roll class listening to those shitty-ass Beatles. We, like, didn't get to the 80s at all in that class. What the fuck was with that? We didn't get here in the thing, like, 90s, early 2000s? Come on, dude. I want to hear Hey Jude for the 50th time. But the song did have some really great guitar riffs, just like the one that repeats throughout the song is really catchy, but like the vocals are really awesome. The sound feels complete. That like sound from these vocals is something that just feels like it's completely disappeared in modern music. I don't know what the fuck is up with that, but I'm a big fan of it. That long riff near the end was also pretty dang sweet as well.
And I love something they do with the bass is that the bass rhythm is to sound like galloping horses.
Yes. It had a very thunderous
badass.
feel to it.
Oh yeah.
Am I picking the next category here?
I guess so. I think
Wait,
that's what we're doing.
Did you talk about Tanner?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Whoops.
And now I'm going to talk about Nico, which
Whoa.
was my second lowest.
Sounds
category,
about right.
unfortunately.
Dude, I fully anticipate to be that meme of Jesus during this, where everyone's booing him.
Alas, dude, that was Blake for me.
Damn.
The
Blake
difference
took the-
there, though, is that my songs are good.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking Blake took the bullet for you, unfortunately. You scored 4 points higher than him at 28.
Holy smokes.
Oh my.
Yeah, your best song, at least my favorite of the songs you chose, was Cold, Cold, Cold. I wrote kind
That's
of a banger.
shocking, honestly. I was expecting to be Spicy Madonna for you.
No, I liked Cold, Cold, Cold a lot. The instrumentals of that song were really fucking cool.
Yeah.
The vocalist did a really good job of that as well. That was a really fun song. I think that song is tied. I didn't give a single song a 10 out of 10, but I have 4 9 out of 10s, and that was one of them.
Nice. Yeah, Cold, Cold, Cold does kick ass.
Anyways, going right on to my lowest scored song of yours, Inertia. I really did not like this song. I wrote, I find this song really annoying. I don't like these types of anthem kind of instrumentals. Don't hate the lyrics, but not a huge fan of the vocalist. Yeah, not a fan of that song at all.
Dude, you've talked about this before, this because AJR is just like infested on TikTok, and they would constantly appear in like all of the videos you'd watch on there.
Yeah, I know. I gave that shit a fucking 2 out of 10. That song is tied with Taking Back as my lowest rated song.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I found it very annoying to listen to. I don't really know how to describe it. You deserved it. I wrote, fuck audiences and live recordings personally.
Honestly, bass though, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear them fucking cheering and shit. I wrote, the lyrics are kind of funny, but it's not really my thing. 4 simple words. I wrote, intro takes way too long, not a huge fan of it. Interestingly structured song. Didn't really have a whole lot to say about it. I like the punk part of it. I wish that was like the big focus of it. It was interesting though that they tried to go for like the slower pace into the fast and the back into the slow. But I wasn't crazy about it. And then Bradio, or what is Sweet Madonna, whatever the fuck is Bradio the band or is
Yeah,
Sweet Madonna
Bradio's the band.
Okay, and Sweet Madonna, whatever the fuck. I wrote, it kind of reminds me of Official Hige Dandism, which I think we had talked about before, because I had showed you Soul Soup from that band, and you're like, oh yeah, this reminds me of some other Japanese band.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who this is.
Yeah, it sounds about
So
right.
I did like this song a lot. I think it's funny. Not funny. I think it's a fun song. But yeah, it's a fun, groovy song. I enjoyed it. That and Cold, Cold, Cold were definitely the standouts from yours for me.
All right.
Dylan?
I guess it's me. So, surprisingly enough, I will say that out of everybody here, I do say that me and Jackson have very similar tastes in music. However, Nico has like that very much like middle schooler, high schooler music taste that I've carried with me throughout the years. So actually, surprisingly, unsurprisingly, me and Nico have
What's
very...
awesome is he doesn't mean that as an insult.
And I don't take it as an insult either.
Listen, dude, I cherish all of my memories. So me and Nico actually do have, despite what I've said, very similar tastes in music. Nico actually, despite everything, got the highest average out of all of you guys on his songs. He got a 20.6, which is 1 whole point higher than you and Jackson.
Bass Dylan, bass. The year of Dylan is upon us. 2025 is going to be his year.
So getting right into it. Cold. I'm generally okay with this kind of music. I'm not going to allude to what it reminds me of because I feel like that's going to immediately take away from what I've built up thus far. So I'm going to skip that part. I like the instrumentals. I like the vocals. I like the way it all blends together. I like the homey kind of feeling where it's just like it's not trying to be over the top. It's very, grounded. So vibe I gave it 4, pace I gave 4, engagement I gave 3. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not like an intense song, you're not getting into it. It's like a maybe a tap song, whatever you want to call it. Instrumentals gave a 4, vocals gave a 4 for a total of 19 plus a bonus. I added it to my playlist. Opposite of Jackson, I thought Inertia by AJR was pretty good. I do generally enjoy their music. I'm more into that style. It's kind of like, kind of almost like a Green Day, I suppose. Not quite. It's just kind of in that realm. I don't know. They just have a different vibe about them. I like the way that they style their music. I like the way they pace their music. Their vocals are very specific to their genre of music, which I can enjoy. It's something I'll listen to every once in a while. So for vibe, I gave 5. Pace, I gave 4. Engagement I gave 4, instrumentals I gave a 5, and vocals I gave a 4 for a total of 22 plus a bonus for adding it to my playlist. Next up is And If I Did, You Deserved It by Will Wood. Nothing wrong with the song. I thought it was funny, interesting to listen to. I could give or take whether it's a live audience or not. It's kind of whatever. I literally listen to Irish pub songs every once in a while. I think they're a romp. I didn't add it to my playlist. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my style of music that I'd probably listen to on a consistent basis. I think it's nice to throw it in every once in a while. It is unfortunately your lowest scoring song, but like I said, nothing wrong with it. I still enjoyed it. But for that, I gave 3 for vibe, 3 for pace, 3 for engagement, 3 for instrumentals, and 4 for vocals. He was at least a good singer. He's got that going for him. Next up, Spicy Madonna, Nico's best song for me. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of neuron activation whenever I hear, some kind of Hispanic music. I don't know what it... I just... Don't worry about it too much. It's just
in
the
Japanese.
Style... It doesn't matter. It's the style of the music. The way that it's played.
But... No,
don't worry about it, Tanner.
To be fair, this confused me too. The YouTube channel that uploaded it has a Hispanic name, but it is a J-pop song by a Japanese group.
It doesn't sound like J-pop.
It does have a very funky vibe to it that you just really don't find in J-pop at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead and... I won't razz you over this, even though you deserve it, but go ahead.
I don't deserve it. You just think I do. But yeah, no. It's kind of like Nico said. It's got, that... jazzy, funk, not jazz, but funk to it, where I really fuck with this kind of music. It's just, I don't listen to it a crazy amount, so you wouldn't know, but this kind of music I fucking go crazy for. So yeah, this song almost got a perfect. The vocals just quite weren't there for me, so it got a 5 on everything except vocals, where it got a 4, so it tied for highest score with one of Jackson's songs, that being Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower by Tsukiyomi. So congrats, you two. You got the highest scores on songs. And that also got a bonus for me adding it to my playlist. And then lastly, 4 Simple Words. This was one that caught me off guard. I did like it. I don't have an issue where songs change up the pace as long as it makes sense. I was kind of just expecting it to be just a, slow pace, nice feeling, alternate rock, whatever you want to call it. And then it picked up and really got into it. And I like tempo changes, like I said, when it makes sense. And I think the fact that it went slow, fast, slow, totally fine with me. Switch-ups are nice. I think it's a good way to keep people engaged with the song. And I think it's a really nice way to take people through a roller coaster of engagement or whatever you want to call it. So for 4 Simple Words, I gave it a 4 on vibe, a 5 on pace, a 4 on engagement, a 5 on instrumentals, and a 4 on vocals for a total of 22 plus a bonus. So that adds up a total of, I think Nico got the highest base score out of all of you guys for a total of 103, plus his bonus of 20, which puts him on par with Jackson at 123 points.
Whoa.
Wow.
So since I'm at the end of mine, I'll just go over the generals really quick. Jackson with an average of 19.6, tying with Tanner, with a total of 123 total. Nico at an average of 20.6 with a total of 123. Technically, he's the overall winner for having the highest base amount of points aside the bonus. And then we have Tanner with a total of 113. And then Blake average of 15.2 with a total of 86 points. So in order it goes Nico, and then Jackson, and then Tanner, and then Blake.
Wow. Unsurprisingly, Nico and I have the most, different, music taste from each other, so unsurprisingly, he's at the bottom.
Boo! Hater alert!
That being said, you do have one of my only 3 4 out of 5 songs.
Alright, you get a pass, buddy.
So, yeah, going from bottom to top, unsurprisingly, my least liked song of Nico's is And If I Did, You Deserved It.
Dude, you and Jackson have just never had your hearts broken, it sounds like.
That's probably true.
It's definitely not true.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting take.
It's very much so a song you have to be in a very specific headspace for, I think, in order to fuck with it as much as I did.
Not being in that headspace, my opinions on it were cringe, real, r/I'm 14 and this is deep vibe.
Yes.
I'm not a lyrics guy. This guy just strikes me as someone who desperately wants to be seen as clever. 2 out of 5. Next, Spicy Madonna. Incredibly generic J-pop song. I did not care for it much at all. 3 out of 5.
Generic?
I don't know if I'd use the word generic to describe it, but okay.
Listen, man.
I'm
I hear
listening.
Japanese, and then
That's not my
I
fault,
zone
buddy.
out.
Become cultured or something.
And yet Kingslayer was in your top 5. Curious.
Curious.
that was all in English.
There's a J-pop artist in it.
Third from the bottom, 4 Simple Words. I do enjoy punk music. You know, I listen to Bad Religion. I listen to The Offspring. I listen to others.
Hall & Oates?
Huh? Anyways, this one was all right. I obviously don't mind repetitive lyrics, but I wish this one was more aggressive, and it is too long, man. If we're doing punk music, 2.5 minutes maximum, and I mean maximum, you know? So I gave that one a 3 out of 5. Inertia, my second most liked song on here. My first listen through, did not care for it much at all, especially the, I don't know, voiceover guy going, Inertia. I'm like, this is fucking annoying, dude. But the second listen through really helped me connect with the song a lot more, so I bumped it up to a 3.5.
There we go.
Making it the 6th highest rated song out of everyone.
I guess that actually does make me curious about something. How many times did you all listen to each of these songs?
I only managed to listen to everything twice.
Okay.
Only, he says.
I listened to everyone except for Blake's 3 times. I only listened to Blake twice.
Okay. Yeah, I also listened to everything 3 times.
Crazy.
Yeah. Also, Nico, are you okay?
No. At least I wasn't at the beginning of the year. You know, things have picked up a lot for me.
I'm curious. You said it was surprising when Jackson said it. I'm wondering if you think it's equally surprising for me. My favorite song of yours was Cold, Cold, Cold.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be way too slow for you, I feel like.
I think... So one thing that helps me, get into slower music is if there's a lot of, sound diversity, I guess. This one has a lot of different instruments and elements, and it also, varies it up a decent bit. I especially like the use of the horns and the way it builds up throughout the whole thing. So, I actually like this one quite a bit. This is the one I gave a 4 out of 5, so...
Fantastic.
That does land Nico at a total of 15.5, so you're only 0.5 behind the score I gave to Jackson.
Okay.
Nice.
That's crazy.
And that means, Nico, go ahead and kick us off with Dylan's music.
All right, so for Dylan's music, he's different from you and Jackson, where he did not have a song that I hated a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part, his music was Also, another thing that I feel like benefits Dylan as well, I feel like his music was much more varied than Tanner and Jackson's. Theirs tended to be a bit more samey, which I think definitely helped.
I feel like we should also probably note this isn't actually his most listened to top 5. This is what he thinks is his most listened to top 5 because he doesn't use a streaming platform that keeps track of that information. Where I think he did eventually get a top 5 from like Amazon Music, but that's not what this list is. This is just what he thinks it is, and it's probably very heavily recency biased. So let's just go in with grain of salt.
Not entirely, but
you agreed to it that it probably is. It's very difficult to think about that.
Anyway, continuing on.
But yeah, for the most part, they were all right. They were decent. However, Dylan gets the privilege here, okay, of having the only person who had a song that I added to my playlist, okay?
It was Pop Stars.
No.
Damn, that's a banger,
Really?
dude.
No. It was, in fact, Bunny Girl.
Oh, let's fucking go! I love Bunny Girl, dude.
It has a great upbeat tempo to it, catchy melodies, very fun instrumentals. Just all around made it for a good time to listen to. I had fun with it.
There we go.
And as a result, Dylan was, in fact, my top pick for the best top 5 of the year.
Let's fucking go. I have to win something every once in a while for my self-esteem, you know?
Yeah. And so, Tanner, how'd you feel about his music?
Dude, so Dylan ended up with a total score of 17, tying him for first place with Blake.
Whoa.
Insane.
And so bottom to top, I've got Bunny Girl, Viator, and If I Can Stop One Heart From Breaking. These did not impact me at all. I'm like, yeah, this is all fine. Whatever, 3 out of 5. Heavyweight, the Lindsey Sterling one, I like it. Neat little ditty. It's still a 3 out of 5. You know, I'm like, yeah, this is good, but it's just good. Or it's fine, rather. And then Pop Stars, I mean...
Hell yeah, brother.
Pop Stars, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is just a masterclass of production and sound diversity. It's so catchy. I love just how often they're switching the beat up and changing the way the lyrics are delivered and just how much shit there is in here. Obviously, I already have this and a couple remixes of it in my playlists. Easy 5 out of 5 for that one.
Fucking go.
And then, so I guess I'll do my overview. Bottom to top, like I said, Nico, 15.5. All of you were incredibly close, though. So,
Yeah.
Jackson at 16, and then I have to decide whether Dylan or Blake win since they both have 17. And that's kind of tough, because Dylan had a great song, and then a bunch of ones I'm just kind of on. Whereas Blake had 2 songs I enjoyed quite a bit, and 1 song I didn't like at all. Or not at all, but I didn't like. And I think the funniest thing to do here is to say I liked Blake's the most, so there we go.
That would be pretty funny.
That one song, dude, with that fucking drop, I'm like, what is happening?
So bad
there
it's
you
good
go.
Keeps winning in Tanner's eyes.
It is kind of funny. I got 2 of the songs from Beat Saber, so... You know.
Jackson told me most of your songs are going to be coming from Beat Saber.
Like 2 of them, dude. Viator came from Machia. Fucking Bunny Girl was just
True.
some random song I found, and then I don't remember the other one. Oh, if I could keep one heart from breaking.
Say
it's
you
fucking
forgot the
Robin.
you forgot the Robin song, dude. That's fucked up.
I'm sorry.
dude,
Robin is my
what the
favorite
hell?
character. I'm sorry. I love you,
She'll
Robin.
never forgive you for this.
Damn
I
it.
did find it interesting that 2 of us had League of Legends songs
That's
this
what I was
year.
saying, dude.
Anyways, let me get to reviewing Dylan's. I'm going last for some reason. We're flipping the script on it. Yeah, Dylan was my highest rated category. I literally already had 2 of his songs on my playlist, so that's a pretty big bump all immediately.
Yeah.
Heavyweight, I wrote a little repetitive, but still kind of a banger. Her violin fits quite well with the electronic background. One of the better Lindsey Sterling songs. I'm not a huge fan of Lindsey Sterling, but I did like this one. It definitely felt a little bit more varied than a lot of her music. Pop Stars, I wrote unapologetically bops. Definitely a guilty pleasure song for me. Fun fact, this song got me hooked on them Fox Girls. I didn't know about Henri prior to
Oh
it.
no.
Yeah, Pop Stars is a fucking banger. Big fan. For Robin's song, it's cute. I like the job that Hoyo did with the instrumentals on it. Don't really have a ton to say about it. I think it's cute. I think the lyrics are a little repetitive, but I enjoyed it. For Bunny Girl, I wrote a fun, groovy song. Not really a ton else to say about it. I didn't really get like hooked super crazy for it or anything. Viator, I wrote the songs So Cute and Sad. I love Machia, and a big part of that is the OST, the song being a standout of it. And I really enjoy these slow, emotional feeling tracks. Viator and Pop Stars, of course, being the two that were already on my playlist. And yeah, Dylan landed at 40 out of 50. Pretty high overall. And I guess just for a quick rundown again, Blake was at 24 points, Nico at 28, Tanner at 35, and then Dylan at 40.
Let's go, dude.
Nice.
I like...
It definitely sounds like Dylan won overall.
That is quite shocking,
you know,
to be honest.
won, but like...
Yeah, quote unquote.
I think it's great, though, that you guys each had your own individual favorites from mine. Because, like, I feel like a lot of us had, like, general favorites from the same people or, like, within one or two spots. But, like, Nico really liked Bunny Girl, Tanner really liked Pop Stars, and Jackson really liked, fucking... What was it? Was it Heavyweight was your top one, or was it Pop Stars?
Pop Stars and Viator were the two I gave a 9 out of 10. They were already the ones that were already in my playlist.
Yeah.
I think I like Viator more than Pop Stars, but I do enjoy them both a lot.
Dude, great stuff.
Dylan, overall, do you... Actually, this doesn't even make sense to ask you. Jackson, overall, do you like this year's top 5 more or last year's for yourself?
Like my personal top 5?
Yeah, for your personal one.
I think I like this year's a lot more than my last year's, given my last year's I think is fucking bullshit. It's just 4 songs from the same fucking artist. The problem is, like, I enjoy those songs, but, like, I definitely don't like them enough for me to think they were my top 5. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah.
I think my top 1 is based as fuck from last year. I love that song. I think it's better than a lot of the songs in my top 5 this year. My top 5 this year was kind of like a similar issue of my last year, where a lot of it is pretty like samey, but I think there's still a decent amount of variety in it. So yeah, I think I enjoyed this year's more.
Okay. What about you, Nico? Did you prefer this year or last year's top 5 for yourself?
Okay, so I think it's about time we have a little peek behind the curtain here, boys. So
He's been he's doing what Dylan did.
Here's the thing.
What?
Last year I was on Spotify, and this was the year I decided to switch over to YouTube Music. Now apparently, unbeknownst to me, I had some setting enabled somewhere that made it so YouTube Music would not keep track of the songs I listened to. Ergo, I only discovered that like the last couple months or so of the year. So I was like, welp, I guess this year's top 5 is fucked. I'll just play the songs on repeat that I think would show up in it. So that's what I did. This is not an exact replica of like what exactly it was, but you know, it's the closest I could get. I think there were some good songs on here. I enjoyed it.
Did you like it more than last year's?
I don't remember what it was last year, so I'm gonna say sure. Why not?
I think you had 2 Will Wood songs last
I did.
year.
Those are also really bangers. So like,
fair enough. For myself, I think I probably preferred last year's a bit more. I think there was a bit more diversity sound-wise there. And also like having one repeat automatically is like, and having Redemption on there, which is like a song I don't even like listen to, was dumb.
Quite frankly, I don't even like it.
Arguably.
Okay.
I liked having Berserkier on that one, and I think it makes sense as my top song. I would like if that one came on when I was, you know, bench pressing or whatever, I just would literally put it on loop. And then Kingslayer, very good song. I like that one a lot this year for sure. And then what the fuck, The Trooper. I mean, I listen to that song all the time. It easily could have popped up last year as well. So, but I think overall I like last year's a bit more because it wasn't all like metal like this year's was.
Yeah, certainly more variety.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Just for the record, I like this year's top 5 for me more than last year.
Oh, okay.
I also liked this year's top 5 more than your last year.
There we go.
Well, go ahead and show us your Spotify or Amazon or YouTube Wrapped down in the comments, and we'll tell you if you have terrible music taste or not.
Yeah.
Also, let us know what you guys think of our music taste, of course. Who do you guys think has the best top 5 this year?
Clearly,
and why is it me?
No, it's me, dude. I won your hearts. Surely I won the crowds.
Alas, I literally have Dusk and Matter, Dust and Flower in my top 5. It's not even a competition.
Oh man.
Dude, speaking of reviews and music,
I can't wait to check out some sweet-ass reviews over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the movies. Oh, when the Saints go marching
in.
in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I just want to rape the Joker. When the Saints go. Oh.
Huh. You change it up a little bit, man.
What did we watch this week?
The Patreon request this week, as requested by Ned again, thank you for the request, was the 2017 film Good Time, which is, of course, the film of a raging narcissist that has a mentally disabled brother. He tries to rob a bank with him. This fails. A brother gets caught by the police, and then escapades ensue with the narcissist brother trying to get his brother out of prison and also evade the cops along the way, ultimately ending up with our free brother being caught by the police and the mentally handicapped brother being put back into like a learning program, I guess.
Fun fact, so this movie was written specifically for Robert Pattinson because he saw the movie, I believe it was the poster for a different movie the Sadfi, the director's brothers, had made, and he sent them like some kind of obsessive schizo email talking about how much he loved that poster and what it made him feel and him wanting to work with them. And so they just decided to write a movie specifically for him to play in.
Okay.
Which I think makes sense, because what the fuck? He gives such a great performance in this one.
He cared about it a lot.
So you said this movie was made specifically for Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Can we just, reflect on maybe that one portion of the movie we weren't quite okay with if this movie was made?
He specifically requested that part be written into the film.
That's what I was thinking. I
had to kiss that fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah, dude, he had to fuck. Anyway, moving right along past that. I think this might be the most insightful thing I'll say about this movie, and then I'll probably just sit here and listen to you guys talk. I was thinking after we watched it, that one interesting aspect of the movie could have been that, maybe the mentally handicapped dude needed his brother, and that's like what the movie was trying to portray. Like, obviously they're brothers, they need to look out for each other, and he's like dependent on the brother who's like trying to like get them money so they can, live a better life or whatever, even if it's through criminal activity. And then I thought about it and was like, well, what if it was the inverse and it was like masking the fact that maybe the criminal brother actually needed the mentally handicapped brother because he cannot operate or function the same way. And it's kind of like this weird reverse psychology thing where it's like you think it would be the mentally handicapped person dependent on the non, but in this weird, sick, twisted way, it's the other way around. And that's one way. I'm not sure if that's how this movie's supposed to be interpreted, but for some reason I thought about it a little bit and thought that could be an interpretation of it. So I don't know if that like makes sense to you guys, but if it does, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that might be the most insightful thing you have said about any movie we have reviewed thus far.
There we go, dude. It's all about what it comes down to in the end. We are at the end of the year after all.
That's Santa Claus hats and giving you sight powers.
I should wear it more often. For our audience at home, please participate by wearing a Santa hat. I know we're already like an hour and a half into the video, but go ahead, throw it on.
I know that by the time this comes out, it's not Christmas.
It'll be after Christmas, but
exactly.
It's fine.
It's a Christmas miracle.
There we go.
Personally, my interpretation of the movie, and I feel like it's what the intended outcome is, that the criminal brother is just a raging narcissist. He's only really using his brother for his own benefit. Of course, he's trying to make their brother feel like he's part of it, but he's not really. He's mostly just using him. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of narcissistic tendencies the brother displays. And initially at the start, the mentally handicapped brother, I forget their fucking names. I'm going to just call him retard for lack of a better word. He is in a learning facility. He starts like tearing up when he gets into the topic of family. And I'm pretty sure he's got a hard life. He doesn't like his situation. He's not a fan of maybe not like a not fan of his brother, but he's not a particularly like big fan of his family in that regard, and maybe he doesn't even understand exactly why that is, but it's triggering something with him. And at the end of the movie, when he gets put back into that class and he starts engaging with the exercise that they're doing, specifically when they start talking about issues with their family, I think that really just drives it home that this brother is in fact just in a really bad spot. He kind of knows it, maybe not like fully understands why, but he does realize that there are issues with his family, and I do like that they have like the good ending for him where he goes back to the place where he belongs and he can be happy, and his fucking piece of shit brother's in jail as he fucking deserves.
You might say, come on, get happy. Wait, okay, so real quick here, Jackson. You're talking about like Robert Pattinson's character. Like, are you saying he doesn't really care about his brother very much?
I'm not necessarily saying that he doesn't care about his brother. I'm just saying that he's using him. Like, you can have a baseline respect for somebody, he's your brother or something, but you can still go into the assumption that he's being used. Like, again, Robert Pattinson's character is, again, displaying a lot of narcissistic tendencies. He's really only thinking about himself in a lot of scenarios, and I think the end goal would be to have both him and his brother benefit, but he like abandons him pretty quickly into the fucking chase. Like, he was like way ahead. He didn't really do a whole ton to like help his brother out in like his big time of need. As just like one example of that. And I think he's primarily just thinking about himself, and his brother is just like an accessory to that. Maybe there's an argument to be made that he actually doesn't care about his brother at all.
I mean, I feel like to me it seems very much so like he's doing all of this in order to help his brother. Like, isn't the whole reason he's trying to get like that money and everything is so he can bail his brother out?
Well, they needed the money prior to do that anyways. I think he was already in fucking debt to other people, but I don't know. There's different ways you can look at it. I think you might be you could potentially say that you are falling for his narcissistic ways. He's just doing a really good job. Like, he's a charismatic guy. He's good at convincing people to let them do shit, and maybe that he doesn't care about his brother at all, and it is just like a really good act to make it seem that way. Or maybe it's even like a guilty conscience thing where like he knows he got his brother into a situation. He's like trying to feel good about himself by getting him out and like doing the right thing, even though he got him in that situation in the first place. Yeah, the movie's deeper than it gives itself credit for, I think.
Yeah. I guess like that latter interpretation I feel like would make more sense, because like otherwise, like why would he go through the effort of like trying to break his brother out of the hospital and stuff like that?
I think a lot of it with narcissism does have to do with like convincing yourself about different things too. Obviously, without being a narcissist, it's hard to actually get into the mind space of maybe I am a narcissist. Who knows? But without being one, it's hard to like get into their headspace about why they would do certain things. But yeah, I think it could just be like a self-fulfillment thing. Like he thinks that he'd be a better person by doing that, so he's like doing it to impress himself rather than to actually like help his brother in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely more on Nico's side with that sort of interpretation, and I think that's kind of the thing this movie does the most interesting. Like, Connie is still like a sympathetic character, because to me he comes across like he does legitimately care about his brother. He's just extremely misguided on what is good for his brother, and he for one, I think you're right that he's very good at convincing himself of what the right thing to do, but like he isn't very good at making those determinations. Like, one thing we were talking about is like how smart he is, and I don't remember exactly how I phrased it, but we kind of settled on like when it comes to like reacting to shit in the moment, he displays like a pretty good level of intelligence. But when it comes to like the big picture of like, oh, how should I live my life in a way that is conducive to like my well-being, he doesn't have it. He's just kind of a serial criminal who just doesn't seem to be that interested in trying to like live a life that isn't difficult, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I thought this movie was really good, very engaging. I was, on my toes the entire time. I think this is another example of a movie that I think is just brilliantly paced. I'm never like bored or whatever. We're always moving on at the right time, slowing down at the right times, like keeping things engaging, whatever. Cinematography, really good, I thought. And like I mentioned at the top, I think Robert Pattinson's performance is like fantastic. Like he fades into this character more than like almost any other actor I think we've seen thus far, which makes sense given this movie was written for him.
Yeah, for sure. On the
agree with
topic
all
of
of the
like
above.
the pacing, this film definitely does a great job of like just moving at a breakneck pace, keeping you on edge at all times. Just like the frantic and chaotic events that transpire throughout it definitely gives you a great sense of urgency as he's just like constantly trying to, like, you just see the look in his eyes of him like trying to figure out how to get out of every situation, even up until the very end. Just like that final shot of him sitting in the car just like staring off, like you can tell in his head he's trying to figure out what the fuck he should do at this point, and you just know that no answers are coming to him.
Yeah. Jackson, what were you gonna say?
This movie fucks. I agree with all of the above. I think it is a very interesting from a production standpoint too, because there's a lot of like really close range shots, which makes it like feel very personal and kind of uncomfortable. Very interesting way of presenting the film. But they also have a lot of those shots where it's like really zoomed out, like those car chase scenes. It kind of like makes me think that like we're like looking, like watching them from like a police helicopter or something. It kind of gives you the impression that they're like, you know, they're always being watched kind of thing, which is interesting. I like that dichotomy of the way they do their shots, and it's just a very well made movie. Like you guys said, I think the acting is really fucking good. I think Robert Pattinson knocked it out of the park with this one. I think he was insanely well casted, and I'm really sad this movie did not do well. Regardless, they still have the directors have a fantastic career. They've made a lot of really good movies. I'm sure made a fuck ton of money, but this is a great kickstart to it. I enjoy this movie a lot.
Another fun fact, they did a lot of guerrilla filming where they were just going out in public and doing this shit. And like one thing I read was that I believe it was Connie and Nick, the two brothers, they were the only ones that had like scripted lines. All of the side characters were just given like a sort of, you know, a detailed explanation of who their character is, and they were like told to just, you know, speak how they would.
Are you telling me this is Be My Cat, but like actually good?
Yes.
Wait, hang on a second. If that, like, the one dude who they break out of the hospital, though, who, like, goes on that whole fucking story about, like, him losing the money and all that other shit, is that, like...
Yeah, he was just ad-libbing some bullshit.
Maybe they gave him general guidelines.
Actually, wait. No, third fun fact, that guy was an actual ex-con.
Oh.
And so that was a legit story that actually happened to him, so yes.
Oh.
That's crazy. Dude,
That's funny.
I almost feel like more movies should be like this. Obviously, if it's more like CGI or, you know, special effects or whatever, it's harder, but...
You gotta be
careful.
smart to pull that off, because like stuff like filming movies like that can easily go off the rails and turn into a Ghostbusters 2016, for example.
It just takes a lot of really good direction, because you have to be able to guide that ad-libbing and know exactly what to use. It just takes a lot of skill as a director, and I think they pulled it off well. I know they did that tactic too before, or not before, but after in Uncut Gems. I'm pretty sure they've got like a bunch of scenes where they literally just like had their the areas they were filming at open to the public, so like they'd be recording shit and just having like actual New Yorkers like walking by, which I think is cool as fuck. But also that has a lot of variability. It makes the film feel very serious. Like this film was very immersive because it legitimately just feels like we're watching shit happen. It doesn't feel like you're watching a movie, which is cool as fuck. And I think that way of directing it did help that a lot, and it shows because they do that technique with a lot of their future films too. Big fan. I guess one of my biggest con, I guess, is the pacing kind of got thrown off a decent amount when the dude started telling his story about his, like, the way he got sent to jail and all that. That felt very out of place. But other than that, I think the film was very well done overall. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's fair.
I agree with Jackson.
Well, I suppose, I suppose I'll be kicking us off here this week for good time. I gotta say, guys, I had a good time with it. I'm gonna give it an A. Dylan, how about you, though?
I was far too negative while watching this movie.
You fucking hated this movie.
Yeah, you're constantly like, coincidence? This is so coincidental. This is stupid. This is so convenient for them anyways.
Yeah, I pondered on it, and I thought back, and I'm like, damn, I was being Nick that entire movie. So yeah, upon further review, I thought this movie was pretty good. I gave it an A+.
I also gave it an A+.
Let's fucking go.
Dude, I also gave it an A.
Holy shit, that gives it like an A-.
No, it gives it an A+.
Wow.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Tanner and Nico drinking that fucking haterade?
I'm sorry. Dude.
Drinking that fucking Sprite acid.
Honestly, I think all things considered, this is going to be a fairly high-ranking week amongst us.
I hope so.
I agree, dude.
Speaking of high-ranking movies, of course, we have Tanner's pick of the week, that being the 2024 film, Joker French bullshit. Please tell us about it.
Dude, Joker, Folie.
Yeah.
So Joker takes place immediately after Joker, and we're just watching him as he goes on trial for his crimes, and watch him in Arkham Asylum, and we meet Harley Quinn, and they sing some songs together, and then the Joker gets raped, and then he says, you know what, Joker 1 sucked, fuck you, the audience, I'm talking to you. And then Joker gets fucking killed by some person whose face we literally don't even see.
Wait.
The end.
Say your fun fact, and I'll get into it.
Fun fact. What did I even... Oh, dude, this is a great one. This is Joaquin Phoenix's first sequel
Oh.
of his whole career.
What a hell of a one to pop that cherry on.
Oh,
Tanner,
yeah.
when you say he gets killed by a guy we've had, of a person we've never seen his face, you do realize that's like the kid from halfway through the movie where he's like weirdly obsessed with Joker, right?
That's not him.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I realized that.
I don't think that's him.
That's definitely him. We see him at like the back of the fucking lunch hall. It's 100% him.
Is that also the same guy he kisses earlier in the movie?
No, it's not that guy.
Okay, but
that's a totally different dude.
It's the kid, isn't it? Unless he dies.
It's the kissing guy is not the same dude as the dude that kills him.
Yeah.
Oh, then never mind. I'm thinking, yeah.
But he does show up in the lunchroom, and he like starts the song in the lunchroom.
He doesn't even start the song. He's just like at the fucking back of the lunchroom, like watching, kind of acting weird.
Yeah, but you get like a couple shots of him just like staring at the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get any actual like understanding of like what he plans on doing.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Question for the DC expert.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, me being a DC expert does not help with this particular movie, but go ahead.
Why does this movie exist, Tanner? Why did it happen?
It's a very hard question.
Because the first Joker made $1 billion, and so they wanted to try doing that again.
Tanner, it's just a movie that retells the first movie in song, dance, and possibly the worst form of media, law and debate.
There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a
Go
lot.
for it, dude. I'm all ears. I legitimately, I was telling Jackson this. I was like, man, this movie is telling it's basically retelling what happened in the first movie through a courtroom, which is boring. I wanted to take a nap about halfway through this movie, and they killed the pace by inserting songs after something dramatic happens. And I'm just
and then they killed the Joker.
I don't care that they killed the Joker. That makes it worse. Anyway, continue on and try to explain to me why this movie. Here's what I'll say: this movie
is a subversive masterpiece, Dylan.
I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna say this movie was bad. I'm not gonna rank it low because unfortunately the performances and the acting, the production is fine. I think all of it's fine. I think the storytelling and the plot and all this other shit makes no sense. So please, somebody fucking talk me down.
Holy based Batman, he got it.
Right?
My main note on this one is baffling, because that is the primary emotion I was experiencing watching this. And I agree with Dylan. All of the technical aspects of this, fucking, sound design, not the music, lighting, acting, the performances, the sets, it was all good. The performances, it was all good to great, even.
Yeah, it's a competently shot film.
Yeah, but the fucking story and the reason it exists are not here.
Yeah.
They're just missing entirely. I'm I want to save my rant for why this movie exists for the end, so we'll get through everyone else's thoughts first. But to me, my last thought, just so obviously intentionally bad. To me, it seems like this was done on purpose, and I don't think anyone thought this was good when they were making it. I find that hard to believe.
That's the thing,
I think I heard the director just when I've just fucked off in the woods or some shit like that, just for a week when this movie premiered, just so you didn't have to hear anything about it on social media.
That's very funny.
That's the thing though, is I IMDb'd this because I wanted to see if this technically classified as a musical, which it does, unfortunately. And it's
the music's
like,
so bad, dude.
It's either this movie was really good by people's standards or really bad. Luckily, it was either 5-star or 1-star. Luckily, it was more, weighted towards 1-star. There was like hardly anybody in between. I was like, oh, this movie was okay. You either fucking loved this movie and you thought it was peak, or you fucking hated this shit. And I was like, that about makes sense based on what this movie looks like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's touch on the musical aspect here real quick, okay? So, unlike many other people, I was going into this film, not this time, but like when I first started hearing about the film, I was going into it optimistically when I heard that it was going to be a musical, okay? Because, like, musicals can be good. The last Joker movie was really solid, so I was gonna go ahead and assume I think that they'll do well by it. But the musical segments were very underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
Yes. Like, the Jokers...
That's a word to use.
They were bad, okay? They weren't good at all.
Like, every time it goes into a musical section, you're like, why are we doing a musical section now?
Yeah.
Like, the Joker as a character is supposed to have a fractured psyche, which should open the door to a lot of creativity during those segments, too. But, like, instead, the only one, only one of them actually uses it for any sort of unique idea. The rest of them are just uninteresting locations with bland visuals. Like, we talked about how, like, the film is competently shot and everything, but it really seems to lack really any style overall.
It's really funny, Nico, because I tried to have that aspect going into this movie, because I was like, oh, it makes sense with, Joker being insane and crazy, it would make sense that, like, these psychological moments playing in his head of, like, musicals, that, like, I was like, this could be a really interesting idea, and it didn't pan out that way at all. I was so disappointed. And if you did say there was one that kind of made sense, I'm wondering if we're thinking of the same one. Is it when he's, like, in the prison, it's like, oh, they're gonna fry you, how does that make you feel? And it turns into, like, a song, but it turns out it was all in his head? Is that the part you were... Damn, that's the part I was thinking of. That part made sense. That's the only time it made sense. I was okay with that. All the other shit, I don't know. It was boring. I was tired. I was sleepy. Let me sleep.
By the way, like, do we get any explanation for, like, why he's, like, not the Joker anymore at the beginning of this film? Because, like, at the end of the last one, he was full of confidence and everything, but then, like, when this one starts, it's like, I'm just some dumb piece of shit now, I guess.
He's taking his medication, bro.
I mean, yeah, maybe taking his medication, then also maybe he legitimately does just feel regret about what he did.
Maybe.
I definitely feel like this was like a gaslight movie, because I did think of the end where it was like, sure, he influenced all the people of Gotham City, but really in return, they're also influencing him, where he was actually purposely trying to get away from that shit and trying to be a better person. But then he's like started this influence. They're like, no, be the Joker. We need the Joker. So they're trying to reel him back in. So it's creating this perpetuating loop where he is the Joker, so it influences them, but they are influencing him to be the Joker, and it just keeps going. And every time he tries to break free, they pull him back. Ergo, Harley Quinn.
I actually think calling it a gaslight movie is, I think you've got something there. It almost feels like the purpose of this movie is to gaslight you into thinking you either didn't or shouldn't have liked the first one.
Yeah.
Dude, I should wear the Santa hat more often. I'm fucking smart as hell now.
You're popping. I can't wait. If you got another zinger on the next movie, like, we might be in a new Dylan age, dude.
Let's fucking go. Santa hat time. Let's go.
Anyways, I said basically nothing this entire fucking review, so shut the fuck up, Tanner. Let me talk for a second.
I was gonna throw it to you just now.
Appreciate it. Anyways, this might be an insanely obvious comment to you guys, but maybe it's not to the audience, and it wasn't to me initially when I watched this movie. But something that actually changed my perspective on it a lot was literally just the fact that Joaquin Phoenix's character, whatever the fuck his name is, I already forgot, doesn't matter. He's not the Joker. That's the whole thing that this movie's trying to say. And
dude, this movie's a masterpiece.
And literally in like the literal sense is that he's creating the concept of the Joker. He is putting that into the mind of the people. And maybe in like if there is a sequel to this movie, we'll see the actual Joker. But he's not the actual Joker. That's why he gets killed off, because he created the idea, but he wasn't the person to take that actual title. He couldn't fucking do it, and he dies. And that legitimately changed a lot, because it's like, why the fuck did he get killed? Doesn't make any sense. That's stupid as shit. But it makes sense now. It makes sense why Harley wasn't super into it, and her character makes a lot more sense to me because of that. it seems like a lot of like setup for something going forwards, which I'm not a fan of that type of thing in movies. The ending still doesn't really sit well with me because of that, but it did explain a lot of things I had questions with. I don't know if you guys had come to that realization as well.
I mean, I know that's what they were going for, but I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm engaged in the character of Arthur Fleck, you know? And I'm not engaged with him because he's the Joker. It's because, like, even though he did these, awful things, like, I can have some sympathy for him, and I kind of want to see how things turn out for him, you know?
I do think it is a very weird narrative choice that they have one movie based on a character, and in the second movie, he's throwing away all of the progression he did from that first movie, and then they fucking kill him off.
Exactly.
Presumably to create a new character from, like, the ashes of what he died, kind of like a phoenix, maybe. But, like, it just seems weird to get all that work, destroy it, and then create something new on top of it from, like, the similar kind of idea. It seemed like the directors are just trying to, like, get out of the hole they dug themselves with the first movie so that they can get, like, maybe a cleaner slate with the third one, which is just kind of stupid, and I don't really... It just seems a lot more of, like, they really want to distance themselves from the first movie. Yeah. I'm like talking about it and thinking about it now. I'm like fucking like flip-flopping on it live in person right now.
Dude, the lamest possibility is that like this was like something passed down from the studio or something, or basically, so what I'm thinking here is that like at the end of the most recent iteration of The Batman starring Robert Pattinson, at the end of the movie it hints at the Joker, and I don't think we see him very clearly, but like based on when that movie is set and whatever, it couldn't be Arthur Fleck. And so like the lamest possibility is that for some reason they decided they wanted Joker to be canon to the new Batman they're starting up, and they were like, well, you gotta somehow like pass on the Joker title to someone young enough that could even be possible, which would be... I want to assume that could not be the case, because I feel like I recall interviews.
I'm pretty sure they explicitly said this is like not at all tied to like the current Batman stuff at all.
Non-canon thing. Yeah. But like it's also like one of the few explanations that makes sense for why they have a younger guy kill him and then carve the Joker smile into his face at the end.
Guys.
Yeah.
Jackson mentioned Harley Quinn. And I do just want to touch on her real quick here.
Yeah, we haven't talked about her. She's half the fucking movie.
She's nothing.
She is like
do anything. Why is she here?
She's a very bizarre character. She seems to just be able to get away with whatever she wants, and she faces no repercussions for her actions whatsoever, seemingly. And they never explain the whole mountain thing either. I still don't know what exactly is up with that. Like, people ask, hey, what's up with the mountain, Harley? And she's like, I'm not going to explain. And she stays true to her word. She doesn't. And, like, they're just, like, letting her in the courtroom and, like, sit right there and stuff like that. And it's like, she's Joker's girlfriend. We have to let her be here.
Family.
Right. What if... And is she pregnant? And should we care?
Maybe she's pregnant with the fucking Joker. Hold on, guys.
Oh.
The Joker is a demon, actually. It's a fucking Cthulhu monster that passes on via sex.
Dude, what if Harley Quinn is just a figment of Arthur's imagination, and really
I was also thinking that could be the direction they were trying to go, but I guess I don't specifically recall her interacting with anyone, and also she does kind of pop in and out of places, so
no, they do. They fucking, like, when they're, like, making out in the cage, the guards... talking about like no physical contact and stuff. Yeah, she's definitely a part of the movie.
And like she gets interviewed by people too when the Joker isn't around, so
he is able to form complex situations and scenarios in his mind, so
why would he think about that though?
I don't know, so dude. Lame. It's just it's kind of like what Tanner said.
He's a crazy guy.
I was gonna say, when Tanner said she contributes pretty much nothing to this movie, that's like my only justification for like why that would even be a thought process, is like if she didn't really contribute much, maybe she's like somehow a figment of his imagination, even if it's not true.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Trying to make something out of nothing, I guess.
It's not good no matter how you try and interpret it.
This movie, goofy as hell.
It is. I wanted to like it. It was okay for like the first maybe half to like a third. And then it hit a grinding halt, and I was, like, done with the movie.
Yeah.
Once we got to that first musical section, it was fucking over. And yeah, you guys mentioned it before, but yeah, those musical segments were not good. The songs were not super inspiring. Fucking Joaquin Phoenix cannot sing.
True.
They were rough, and the transitions into them always felt fucking terrible. They felt forced. They did not feel good. Like this was not a competently made musical at all, and it's very strange for a direction to go that way, and also does not put any effort into it. It feels like.
Yeah.
The only good aspect of the musical portion was that Lady Gaga is at least a good singer and performer, and that's about all they got going for it.
Dude, she was just fine.
Yeah.
I want to pull out my corkboard and start putting up strings about why this was fucking made like this.
Go for it, I guess. How much time do we have?
This does require me to get into culture war and politics bullshit. So,
No!
as you may all recall, when the first Joker came out, there was a massive media freak out where they're like, oh my god, they're making an incel movie that's gonna, like, radicalize young men to just shoot people in the streets. And then it came out, and it wasn't that at all. It was, like, an exploration of, like, mental health and fucking, like, labor relations or whatever the fuck. And here's the problem. So, us, normal, intelligent people, heard that narrative, and then we went and saw the movie, and it was a massive fucking success, and we said, oh, okay, it's not this narrative thing. It's, like, something most people can just enjoy, and that's fine. The director, I'm assuming, is like a boomer liberal who only gets his news from, you know, the mainstream media, the corporate media sources. And so he heard this firestorm, and then the movie was a massive fucking success. And when it was a massive success, like I said, we went, oh, okay, it kind of appeals to everyone. It's a good movie. When he heard this narrative and then saw it was a massive success, his brain said, wow, there's so many more incels than I thought there were. And he hates that his movie appealed to them or whatever, even though it appealed to everyone in reality. And so he made this movie specifically just to, like, shit on this hypothetical audience he thought he had with the first one. And all he ends up doing is shitting on everyone because everyone liked the first movie, basically. Does anyone think I'm, like, wildly off base with that?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but, you know, that sounds about right to me, I suppose.
Well, Todd Phillips, thanks for having fucking news brain rot and then ruining a fucking movie for us, I guess. I hope it was worth it. I mean, you made fucking bank, so I guess it was.
All right, so Tanner, do you feel like the Joker 2 has retroactively tainted the first Joker film for you?
I think I'd need to watch it again to know for sure. I'm not the kind of person who perceives movies that way. This is definitely the best chance that is the case for me. Because, like, most of the time, bad sequels, they might borrow shit from the first one and kind of mess them up, but that shit is still good in the first one. This is a sequel where it's literally pointing at the first movie and saying, hey, this shit sucks. Or like, you know, this fucking sucks, actually, you know? So I think I'd have to watch it again, but I definitely just kind of top of head feel a bit less enthusiastic about the first one after seeing this.
Crazy.
Fantastic. I'll also go ahead and give the film a little bit more praise. I thought that the puddle scene was well done.
I agree.
That was pretty funny.
The Gary scene was pretty solid. I really liked his dialogue and performance there because it actually made sense and was kind of emotionally affecting.
Yeah.
Your last name is Puddles? That's a joke.
That's pretty good. Rankings?
Dylan, what'd you rank this one?
Like I said, I'm not gonna rate this movie low because fortunately it was made well and the performances were great. Unfortunately, it made zero fucking sense. I'm gonna throw it my middle of the pack and just throw it at a flat C.
Wow.
Okay.
For me, this film was constantly floating between two ranks as we watched it.
S and
the ending really solidified it to make me drop it down to the lower one. I'm giving it a D+.
Okay.
I also gave it a D+.
I gave it a flat D. Like,
Damn.
The technical prowess of this, just for me, is completely canceled out by just how empty it is, like, for existing, I guess. I don't know, you know?
I may have to ponder on this one for a while longer. This is gonna have to go into
ponder
re-ranks for sure, I suppose. I'll have to think about this more.
In 6 months from now.
What's up with this fucking movie? Anyways, D+ overall. How exciting.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Pretty
I can't be
big
mad about
drop
that.
from the first.
That probably has to be our biggest gap between,
Sequels.
a movie and its sequel.
Yeah, I was curious if we have a stat on that. Our last movie this week was Nico's pick, and of course that was the 2003 Satoshi Kon film, Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, so Tokyo Godfathers is a story of 3 domicile-impaired individuals who find a baby who's been heartlessly discarded on Christmas Day, no less, and through a series of coincidences and hijinks, they eventually manage to track down the baby's mother, except, hold on a second here, buddy. That isn't the baby's real mom, and she attempts to unalive herself along with the baby, but thanks to the baby being a Christ figure, one final coincidence saves the day, and everyone gathers around holding hands, singing Fahudoris, Fahudoris.
I want to hate your summaries, but, like, I can't sometimes.
Tanner.
Fun fact.
Yeah, what's a fun fact?
When Jin gets beaten up, in the background, the office building windows serve as health bars.
Oh.
Like the lights tick down or shit.
What?
I didn't see that myself, but
That's a
I
fun
need to go back
detail.
and check that out. That sounds sick as fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna go look that
Oh, yeah.
now. Unless you need me to talk about it, since you guys usually
Dude,
have.
go
Yeah,
ahead and
Dylan,
talk
how did you
about
feel about this film?
I thought this movie was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a pretty decent bit. I went into this, not expecting much, to be completely honest. The art style is a lot like Look Back, oddly enough, even though, despite them being, 21 years apart. But if anything, that serves as a benefit to this movie, because they're movies from seemingly 2 different eras, and this movie, like, animated the way it is done pretty well. And yes, Jackson, I listened to it in Japanese, I put on the English subtitles, I did all of that just for you, don't you worry your pretty little head about it. But, yeah, I liked how, in almost a nonchalant way, they explored and delved into these characters' backstories, and I like how not all of the characters were super overbearing. I feel like we got enough of them and, like, their characteristics based on their actions that they performed throughout this movie. Obviously, you've got the one dude who's trying to be, like, the father figure, where he's, like, being the brute and, trying to take care of things, and he's got past knowledge from a child he's had before. You've got this dude who's trying to be a mom, and his only dream was to just be a mom. Not gonna lie, that character actually kind of creeped me out for pretty much the entire movie, except for, like, the last...
We had a feeling they would.
Don't worry, guys, I'm not homophobic. Except for the last, like, I don't know, maybe fourth of this movie.
Calls the transgender character a dude and says that they creeped him out throughout the whole film.
And then obviously you've got the child, which I think is probably the most mysterious out of the bunch. Like, you kind of understand what she's got going on, but it's still a pretty big mystery for the most part. But yeah, I think the movie was fairly well paced. I really enjoyed the animation style. This animation style started to grow on me. It was almost at the point where it was too realistic for me for it to be animation, but also still 2D animation. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the way it was paced, the voice acting was great. I think it was just generally an all-around good movie.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Like, as you're kind of hinting at there, the film is about, like, the human connections that people forge and, like, second chances that they get. And so throughout the film, we do see as these characters end up confronting their past, and through either, like, their compassion or resilience to be able to get through this harsh, scary night, we do see that, like, throughout the night's events, they are able to create these possibilities for ultimately bettering their lives. Like, we see with Gin, the old drunk dude, how he does eventually, like, see the error of his ways through, like, a couple of different characters, like that old man who he finds, just like how that guy's life ended up turning out. We do also see how later he ends up meeting, like, that the dude who was the husband or whatever of the chick who ended up stealing the baby, and like how terrible his life is too, and how he's going down the same road that Gin did, and how that's able to help him out to eventually be like, okay, I will like reconnect with my daughter and like, set my life right and all that stuff. I think that all that stuff was very well done. I was a big fan of it.
Anyways, ratings? No. I agree with Nico. I think this is a fun, well-made movie overall. I love how full of life these characters feel. Mm-hmm. They're very well animated. They have a lot of fun facial expressions. There's just a lot of it's just like a fun, well animated movie. There's just a lot of really fun scenes I enjoy. Like even some like basic ones, like the fucking what's his name? Fucking Jin, the homeless guy. They're all homeless. The fucking old dude. Just riding the bike was like really fun, and fucking like getting off and like fighting against the slippery ground stuff. There's a lot of like really fun little details in this movie. It's just a very fun movie to watch overall. Mm-hmm. Especially with like picking apart like what's actually like real information and what's not, because a lot of the characters are lying to us throughout a lot of the movie, and we have to like kind of piece things together as it goes along. It's just a fun little movie. There's the biggest criticism probably I have with it is just the massive amount of quinky things that happen with the baby, but they play into that obviously with it being like it's a lucky baby. It's like part of the plot that they do this, but it's still kind of stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very obviously a narrative choice. Like, the film is about, like...
I still don't like it that much.
I know, but, like, the film, it's about, like, these themes of, like, hope and fate and, like, of redemption and shit like that. And so the coincidences tie into it as just, like, the interconnected nature of humanity and the possibility of miracles, especially on Christmas Day, as is done customarily with Christmas films. It gives that film, like, a slight more whimsical and magical quality that you would expect from any of these Christmas films, but they crank it up to a solid 11.
I know, I still just don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that big of a gripe, but...
I wanted to hate the coincidences, but it was so unoffendable, non-offensive. That's the word I meant to use. It was so non-offensive, I kind of... Which, I overlook these things normally anyway, but in the case of this movie, they were just so non-offensive, I didn't mind the coincidences that took place.
Dude, I really like this one. I agree. I think it's got deep and well-developed characters, a poignant message that is enhanced by the coincidences, and I think it's interesting seeing a Christmas movie by, a Japanese person.
Yeah, I feel like there really aren't that many of those.
I'd imagine not. It's probably only something that's, I don't even, like... It's a part of their culture, kind of, I know, but that's just because they're, like, borrowing it from us. So it's interesting to see what their sort of take on it is.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas doesn't have the same sort of, like, magic or whatever that does here. It's not about, like, family and that sort of thing. Over there, it's more... They basically, like, flip New Year's and Christmas, where, like, Christmas is more so, like, a fun holiday for, like, friends or, like, your partner and stuff like that, and then New Year's is where, like, you spend time with family and stuff like that.
Interesting, yeah. And yeah, I thought the story was pretty engaging. I just thought this was a delightful little Christmas movie, and I liked it quite a bit.
I did find that minor detail, Tanner, very cool, very interesting. He actually, the funny part about that scene too is he ended up gaining health bar back, I guess, as he like got up to chase after the kids that beat him up, so that was pretty funny to see too.
Oh.
That was his second wind.
Yeah,
it was
that's environmental storytelling.
Round 2,
right there.
fight.
Yeah, another fun little thing about this film is that if you really think about it, it's pretty fucked up, the things that are happening throughout this film. And the film's overall humor that it has throughout it does help to just like give that sort of darker subtext much more... a bit more levity, and it helps to also especially reinforce the bonds that we feel between our three trio here. Our three trio.
Our trio 3
Yeah.
even.
I think if I was to delve into this movie just a little bit more, it would be in that aspect where, yes, this movie can be hard to watch. Nobody wants to watch a movie about homeless people, but I think it's the darker aspect of society that some people aren't like willing to accept. And I did think there was like a special thing going on where there's like bond through, struggles and like hardships and all that kinds of stuff. I'm missing my primary point. I already forgot it. God damn it.
I'm sorry to say, Dylan, you missed on this review. Nobody wants to watch a movie about homeless. What is that?
That's
even?
exactly what I was thinking. What are you talking about?
That wasn't even going to be my primary reason for saying anything. I had another point that was better, and I already forgot it. So,
But you still said it.
Damn, I wish I had remembered. It was actually kind of okay. Nope, it's gone. Oh well.
Say la vie.
I suppose so.
Well, boys, as for rankings here, if we have nothing else to say about it, I'm gonna be giving this film an A-. I liked it a whole lot.
I also gave it an A-.
Wow.
Whoa. I liked it more than you guys. I gave it an A+.
Whoa.
Damn, it's really not coming back. This is so sad. I'm gonna remember after it's all said and done. This fucking sucks. Yeah, I also enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Like I said, this kind of art style and all that shit's growing on me. I gave it an A+.
Wow.
Whoa.
There are 2 wolves in the Guapish podcast.
Jackson, you have to be stopped.
Is this film really good or is it phenomenal? You decide.
Yeah. Yeah, A overall, pretty solid week. An A+, an A, and a D+. Those are some pretty killer rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys don't squander it next week. Dylan and Jackson, what are you picking?
Jackson, picking a Christmas movie, I think. Yes.
Why the fuck would I pick a Christmas movie? Who the fuck do you think I am?
I don't know. I just figured our theme this month was Christmas movies. Anyway, go on. What are you gonna pick then, bozo?
Alright guys, there's 3 of you, so I'll make it easy. Do you guys want a live action movie or an animated movie?
I'm interested to see what kind of live action you want to choose.
I'm picking a live action movie myself, so I'll go ahead and say animated.
Jackson, can I ask if the animated film is anime?
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm just curious,
I'm not giving you that information.
What else would it be, Nico?
Fair.
Yes.
I'm gonna go live action.
Okay, we're watching the 1999 film The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I've only seen this movie once in my
That is
life.
the first movie on my list. The first one I ever wanted to watch. Or the first one
It's
I
a
added on my
Christmas
list.
movie, by the way.
Yeah.
It's...
How?
I don't think it is.
I guess we'll find out. I don't know anything about the fucking Matrix
I
over
don't
like the
think it
basic
is
concept.
at all, actually.
Well, Dylan, are you gonna pick a Christmas movie then?
Yes, sir, I am. So going down my list, the first Christmas movie, it's really funny because 2 picks later, if this one wasn't a Christmas movie, the next one for sure was. My Christmas movie is number 25, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know what year that is. It's the new one.
Which Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh, shit. No, because the other one's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That's the older one. This one's like the one from when we were like in middle school or some shit. I don't remember the year.
It was elementary school for sure.
Well,
So we're watching the Tim Burton one with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Tarnation.
And of course, we're also watching our Patreon pick. If you guys want to also pick your Patreon request, or I phrased that really fucking stupidly, if you also want to request a movie for us to watch, you can do so by going to guapish.com/Patreon and subscribe, of course, to our Patreon for $1 a month. You'll learn more about that later. And this week we are watching The Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, the 2003 film as requested by Kyler, I think. Thank you for the request.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know
I think
anything
it
about
is.
this franchise.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Let's fucking go.
And if you too would like to request a film just like our very special man Kyler there did, then you can just head on over to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish if you're feeling spicy. And subscribe for just $1 a month where you'll get access to the pre-Guap, early access to our episodes, Discord access so you can come in and talk to us. You can tell us about how our music tastes were terrible and yours are peak. You can request movies, just as Jackson mentioned, as well as topics. And you also get 500 slime coins, but most importantly, your name shouted out, just like I'm about to do now. Thank you very much to GH, Slate by Jade, Blake, Nedagant, I Love Lesbians, Topperman Man, Guapish, more like Dog Piss, Tutpot, Lucas Ledet, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.